So the kids are harassing again tonight. We've already caught them walking past the window in the Octocam.
Are you sleeping, Amy?
Oh, new cord?
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
Will that printer print if I try to print from this?
Should. There should be no problems in it printing. Should we have the light off or leave it on?
Off is fine. I'll turn this one on. And your printer isn't listed here. So we need to add that before I can print. Yep, not there. Okay. Should automatically find it since it's there. Is that what it's called? HP color laser cut?
Yes. That was just a way to sneak, put that tripod behind the window or behind the curtain and see. Because when they see the curtain up and the tripod and everything hooked up, they usually stop.
No, actually, they've now done it 2 more times after that window.
Oh, wow.
Remember, I set that camera up a minute ago.
It's true.
Even though it wasn't technically on, they ignored it. Now that it's on, we'll see. Really? You're going to take that long to add a printer?
Yeah, even though I've defragged it and everything else this morning before you got up.
Let's take a look at task manager and see what's causing the lag. Oh, I know what's causing the lag. The hard drive, the 2 terabyte hard drive. But it's oh, Minecraft is open. Let's close that. We don't need to be using processor on that. We don't need this.
It's hard to Allie me out.
Oh yeah, are they both out?
No, just Allie me. Mary's not out. Yet.
Printing again. Really? Hopefully they don't screw you up like they screwed me up. I just looked at my ID, and it doesn't have my mailing address on it. All I know is I actually entered both addresses, mailing and physical, and it only shows physical. But I received it at my mailing address.
That's not the.
Kind of is.
No, it's not. For what I was doing is not that. Just it's the way I was getting my insurance cheaper.
Your insurance will be fine. Don't worry. I promise.
Well, they know
Somebody's
but my both they know my physical address, so it's not that big of a deal. Just realize that.
Somebody left their soda out.
She usually does. Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's up there.
I'm gonna pour it in this, and if there's no bugs, I'll drink it.
All right.
Sure, make it sound like urine. It's not as if I have a full bladder or anything. I sees no bugs. Alright, let's go to my videos. I need to edit the current stream, give it a name. Let's see. Streaming from April's living room window. Harassing kids. Tonight we are streaming again because of the kids pounding the door and now throwing rocks at the window. one thing you guys might not know is that we have a camera on the other side on April's bedroom window that shows the kids passing. What time was that video? Oh wait, the file name's here. That'll work. I kind of loaded that one. 7:24 and 18-second video. 18 seconds video. All right, so I can share a video file. Oh, looky there, that's cool. I haven't tried this yet from StreamYard. Let's see, Octocam. Here we go. Open that. And there is no audio, so let's see. I'm going to add that to stream. Go to this. And as you can see, well, as you can't see just yet, there's nobody passing the window. But in about 10 seconds, 15, 20 seconds, I don't know, soon, there will be. And I will pause it when the first one walks by. There we go. And right about there. Okay, maybe not. There. There's the first one walking by. I think we have a moment of a clear shot of him when he bounces in his step, but I wasn't able to pause it then. However, there's another one that sneaks up from under the window. I think he's come to realize that there's a camera in this window. See that? He just popped up from underneath. Pop. Gonna pop up like he's sneaking by. Well, at the time of that video, that is 7:25 p.m., those two, or one of those two, actually banged on the door as they walked past. I didn't have the live stream going yet. No, I did not have the camera in the view, or in the window yet. This window, this stream that you're seeing here. However, since I've put it up, they seem to have stopped going by and stopped pestering. I'm pretty sure it's those kids that are on the far side of the apartment complex that we're seeing run around out there. Hey, we might even get to see them come around and try to do something. Should I point it out the other way? Because they just ran that way. I need a better stand spot here. Like that?
Yep.
Let's see if that works. Oh, well, does that show the edge? No, it doesn't. Okay. Okay, I see. Oh, I have an idea. Get a little closer here. Blip. There we go. There's too much light pollution from the reflections. Maybe turn off the kitchen lights. Ooh, they're coming from the other way. Can't look out the peephole because it's full of moisture. They're on the other side right now. You know what's kind of strange? What is reflecting in that window? Oh, I see. It's reflecting off the other screen. So my computer screen that's on is reflecting off the TV/computer screen that's off. I know how to block that. There. That'll block it. So now the light pollution from the reflection should be gone. Yep. We should be able to see anyone that goes walking by here. Should I flip it around and point it back towards the door?
I don't know. I mean, it might be a good idea to do that.
Oh, OBS's virtual camera is something that you don't have on this version. So I need to update your version of OBS. Check for updates. Update now. The virtual camera would make it so we could share the stream, or we could share the screen in the virtual cam. Was the laundry room locked, by the way?
I didn't even try the door handle.
Oh. Did you happen to notice the sign saying open or closed?
It says open.
Yeah. I just forget to flip it.
Yeah, but there was no other information on there. Like they used to have, like the security number, security guard number, and
What do you think? Flip it back around? I know you already said yes.
yeah. I don't think we're. I think it's going to be very hard to catch these guys.
Well, I do have a second tripod. We could set your phone up pointing the other way. You're like, but no, I want to play on my phone. All right, so now the virtual cam exists. But here they come. Probably have to reboot the computer for the camera to work. But the live stream will continue to work, so I shall do that. Alright. Grab that, copy it, close it, put it here, paste and go. Thank you, broken system, broken trust. I'll finish watching that later. I'm gonna close my browser.
Did you print that item?
I did.
Okay.
reboot. Pretty sure that doesn't cause too much light pollution. Yeah, no, doesn't affect it much at all. So you gotta fold that up and put it in the wallet. I guess you get pulled over. Sit there, you're welcome.
I want glasses. I want.
You want to read it?
Never mind. It doesn't say anything right now.
No, it really isn't all that hard. Basically, it says you have to use this if you get pulled over. Previous license is no longer valid, which isn't entirely true. It still proves that you're you. It's not as if your picture and your name on it don't actually mean they're you. It's still a physically evident thing. What you seeing?
I thought I seen a shadow go around the corner.
Dang it. I got water. I keep forgetting to take my pills. It says a bit of water. Dump it in the trash or I'll dump it in the sink.
Dump it in a plant. Plant?
None of them are dry. We don't need water right now. That one's losing leaves because
That back one usually drink. That one and this one usually drinks a lot of water. It's just a sip.
about an ounce, yeah. Oh, I did download Windows 11 installation iOS or
Okay.
image, but that computer can't use it anyway. Hardware limits.
Yep.
Pretty sure none of them are. There's no way.
We had to turn it off so we could go and record these guys.
I'm not going to sleep.
No.
Oh, this is not my seat. What is the password again?
No. 3109
310
45.
But what would you say?
Your dad was in the middle of something, so
What did I use?
are you being a miss crazy?
Wait, I'm cleaning my chair. tripod and pulling my tail. My next goal and make my neck goal to get to ready reach it. And that is what I will get.
If you get on Roblox, I'll play Roblox with you.
On what computer?
That one, well, you could bring your computer out here and I'll move this so you can put it right here.
I don't want to play with this. I'm also
Or you could
hungry.
That's right, you are hungry. You're a growing child. Well, what can I get you to eat? You didn't answer that question for me. So,
I
you're gonna whine about it. Got it. Why do you think I went and offered you that idea?
May I have this chair, please? What is your problem? Your mom already told you I was in the middle of doing something. Your computer can play Minecraft.
No!
Oh, stop whining first.
No, I can't!
Would
You
you
can't
like
what?
me to sit in the living room or in the bedroom and you play Minecraft on my computer?
What computer?
The one in my bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
You need to stop whining. You are a very spoiled kid, and you're lucky your mom lets you get away with so much.
Oh, that's the only computer I have that I can use on Minecraft. Why not?
Yeah. Your dad is trying to fix something, so
What?
he's adding a special thing that needed to restart.
The computer needed to restart in order to add this. Oh, yes. Virtual camera. What happened to my bookmarks? That's crazy.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm in my
after
room if
Windows.
you need anything, okay?
Okay, well, using a second camera out would be cool.
What? I keep asking you the same. Go. Oh! I have something for you and ID.
What?
Wait,
That's not it. I remember this.
the computer still thinks it has no camera.
Where is it? I know it's in here. Oh, there you are.
Yes.
Go, 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 go. What?
Okay, now we've got kind of strange. The site's muted. That shouldn't happen again. Sorry about that. Oh no. My phone said I've run out of time. All right, let's see. I've got the camera going, but I need to adjust it. So I crop the top by about 100. Okay. Oh. Properties, capture cursor. Okay. Yeah, and then if I switch here. Okay. There you go. Now you can see my screen. I'm going to crop that a little bit more. 120. There you go. Yeah, that'll work. Y'all might have noticed I blocked a post. That's on purpose. People like to spam pornography websites, so. All right. I was watching Josh do his cop watch safety training, and then the kids knocked on the window. Oh, that's right. I wanted to show you that video. Let me first turn off the camera for a moment while I queue up the video. Well, actually, while I queue that up, I want to show you something a lot of people may not be aware of. You can actually loop your computer's audio back through into the speakers or back in as if it was a microphone. And to do that, in Windows 10, I type Control Panel and Load Control Panel. Go to Sound. And on sound, once it loads, go to recording, and you'll find that stereo mix isn't listed. But if you right click and show disconnected or disabled devices, I don't know which, I can't remember, you can make stereo mix appear. Then simply right click on it and choose enable. I've already done it. It's available. Then you can set it as a default. And then any sound your computer is playing out will be passed through it as if it's being received by a microphone. So OBS Studio will send audio from the desktop audio out as if it was a microphone. As will StreamYard. So it's all kinds of goodies there. Anyway, I am going to, like I said, queue up that video. I'm going to full screen it. Well, I'm going to get to where we see the kids. All right, I'm going to, oh wow, that's a bit too far. All right, let's try bringing it down to 0.06x. Play it. And I'll even bring you guys back on so you can see. Yes, I do VLC Media Player as my preferred media player software. Yes, it is moving. It's just very slow. There we go. One frame every now and then so we can try to pause it at just the right moment. There he is. Well, how do you get all the way over there? It looks like there's no good shots of that kid. And no, wait, we had it the other way around. That was there. The one that pops up will be a little more interesting anyway. I think we get a nice clear shot of his face. Speed it up just a little bit. $17.25 and there he is. There's the kid who was trying to sneak past. So we never get a good shot of him or a perfect shot of him, but you see him nevertheless. Wait, what's going on here? All right. So that's that. Anyway. Yeah, this is what I was expecting OBS to show, but it wasn't showing that. So I had to reboot the computer, but even rebooting didn't seem to do it. I'm not sure what was going on there. Ah, the video stream was removed. Okay, anyway. I think I'm going to go ahead and watch a movie. It looks like the kids have decided to leave us alone for the rest of the night because the camera's up. I think I might just start recording so that the kid that is registered on my channel can't see it. In fact, I'm pretty sure I know who he is, and I'm probably gonna ban him because I think he's involved with this. But he's not watching, so it's a little odd. I don't know. Oh, that's not a good idea. See, I'd really like to be able to zoom here so I can zoom in on these people walking around. Keep forgetting to keep OBS open. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and live stream on the record. From Broken System, Broken Trust. I'm going to go ahead and watch that. I'll share the audio too. So, and go. Let me know if you guys enjoy it. I need to see this. I know what to do. As long as this has been plugged in, it should still be on. It is. Yay. 867 megabytes versus 9.6 gigabytes. 1441 and 122909. and 1302.30 and 1522.22 and 35.49. All right, good. So whichever one is really large can be deleted. Oh, wait, what? Okay, that's better. I need to change this to quit handbrake. There we go. Close the queue. Deleting these original videos, they're huge file sizes. All right. And just loading my live stream. On my other computer here. To see what it looks like before I begin playing. Okay. I'm going to test the audio right now. Okay. I'm going to test the audio right now. Wow, that's really not good. In any case, I don't need to see the audio. It'd be really nice if we could arrange these things without just be really nice if we could arrange, maybe even resize these things. Like I said, Zoom would be really nice. I've mention that a bunch to StreamYard, but it'll take time, I'm sure. All right, so I wanted to see this and full screen it to see if how much of it can be seen, because I am cropping off the top of my screen. All right. So they're using StreamYard too, which is pretty cool. Looks like we got enough of it. You can even see the YouTube channel, even though the quality's low. Might increase the quality. 720, we're just going to keep it at that. And play.
Here in just a minute. I'd also recommend to all cop watchers and others who believe in our Bill of Rights and the Constitution, I'd recommend checking that out. Let's see. And then one other very interesting topic, or one very interesting video on this channel that I enjoyed a lot, that wasn't necessarily about cop watching, but this video right here, and it's not shareable, and it's not shareable, I believe, for a reason. The title is Civil War II in America, Who Would Win? And when you watch this video, if you choose to watch this video, it's phenomenal, okay? And what I mean by phenomenal is you can tell just by the wording and how this report is written, because that's what he does. He narrates a report generated by somebody who claims to work basically as a mock scenario role play type analysis for the White House. And from the wording in the report, I would strongly guess that is 100% credible, because of how strong it is. So anyways, if you guys want to check that out, Civil War II in America, Who Would Win? That was very interesting, and it's not shareable. Otherwise, maybe I'd share it to you guys so you can check it out later. But anyways, let's pull up Cop Watch Training. And these are, I'm just going to pause this.
Not sure what he paused.
We're not going to watch the actual video. I'm just going to pull up the top 10 list, and then maybe we can go hear this. But
Cop Watchers
maybe we'll do that
training video
right now. So
some of you may not feel I'm qualified.
I am paying attention to chat. If you guys can tell me if you hear an
I'm
echo.
going to get right to the point. I've written down a list of 10 issues that I believe would make the cop watching community a lot safer, and the videos that they put out a lot more effective. Number one is distance.
Do you guys hear this all right?
Show what I mean in this quick video
let
here.
Me know with a 1 if it's coming through without an echo.
Black Label video.
Oh, I hear an echo.
Fast forward a little bit. So out comes this guy, and watch the distance. She makes no effort to
all right, let's pause this
to address the issue.
And then let's see if I can just find the full list, right? Okay, guys. So let's see. Okay, that might solve the problem right there. And if it does, then maybe we can delve into the video a little bit. But let's just go ahead and pull this video up for you. And then let's see if everybody, hopefully that's big enough where everybody can read it. And I'll just go ahead and list off the 10 tips. And then once I list off the 10 tips, we can talk about them in more detail. That looks a tiny bit small, guys. So let me see if I can enlarge that for you. Let's see. Maybe I can do this. Hold on. Well, I'll just go ahead and read it off because I'm not sure exactly the best way to share this to you guys without losing it. Here, let's just do this. All right, that should be a little bit bigger there. Okay. So we're just going to read this off. Number 1, distance, 10 to 15 feet minimum. Number 2, over the shoulder shot. Number 3, speak to viewer through the lens. Number 4, give a reason for filming. Number 5, first name shades off. Number 6, look up and quoted laws. Number 7, ask for the supervisor. Number 8, call out every bully move. Number 9, courthouse interviews. Number 10, more remaining silent. The only one that was slightly confusing to me when I had to go back and rewatch it is number 9, courthouse interviews. And he's just talking about simply like remaining professional or seeing if you can interview people, like, for example, out in front of a courthouse, so you come off professional, and it basically adds to your credibility and adds to, the safety aspect of it, especially everybody that, says, hey, I'm working on a story, or hey, I'm the press, et cetera, remaining professional. But, that is a lot of less fun at times. So, like I said, I'm not trying to get into, do you agree, disagree with this list, but I would like to explore that as a topic for a later show. And so what we're doing today is setting aside the argument of whether you agree with this list or whether you don't. This is the video I watched before I ever got into cop watching, and it's been tremendously helpful for me. So that's why we'll go into.
So the URL looks to have a lowercase d, lowercase a, capital D, capital A, lowercase u, lowercase j, capital Q, lowercase j, lowercase t, lowercase x, 0. If you want to go find that video, that's where it is. In fact, I will go ahead and try to put that in the description, right? DA, DA, uh-oh. UJQ. Okay. JTX 0. JTX 0. That doesn't sound right. Hold on. JTX 0. Okay, maybe it does. All right. Let's see if I can find it. youtube.com/watch V equals. Did I type the right video code?
You can read it, and I'll just go ahead and list off the 10 tips. And then once I list off the 10 tips, we can talk about them in more detail. That looks at.
We'll go back a little bit. I'd like
just
to
go ahead and
see
pull this.
who it is that he's getting this from.
And then
I'll show what I mean in this quick video
let
here.
me know. Chad, if you guys can tell me if you hear an
I'm
echo.
gonna get right to the point.
Just trying to see who we got it from.
Not gonna walk.
Oh, here we go.
Let's pull up.
This was Cop Watcher Training 1, 10 tips for more safety and. Let's go back a little bit. Ethics instead. Now, I think he said this channel is gone now, but I don't know. He literally just posted this. So I'm going to see if I can find it. I'm going to put this one back in place. Try searching YouTube. Ethics instead. See if the guy's channel still exists. Looks like it. And that looks like the right one.
Fence around it, then they say.
All right, so we're looking for the. I don't want to see that. Hide that. I wanted to get to
You can read it.
And I can't remember. I'll just look at it. Scrolling. Okay. What's it called again? That's what I get. I pay so close attention.
Report generated by somebody who claims to work basically as a mock scenario role play type analysis for the White House. And from the wording in the report, I would strongly guess that is 100% credible because of how strong it is. So, anyways, if you guys want to check that out, Civil War II in America, who would win? That was very interesting, and it's not shareable. Otherwise, maybe I'd share it to you guys so you can check it out later. But anyways, let's pull up
Cop watcher training. Okay. Oh, it looks like it's gone. Okay, we're gonna do end. Page down. Okay. Find cop watcher training. There it is. 3 years ago. What did I type wrong? DADA.
Welcome.
DADAUJ QJTX0. Ah, I thought that's the one I put in. DADAUJQJTX0. Oh, it was a lowercase x, wasn't it? Yep, it was a lowercase x.
Welcome.
That's all. I kept putting the capital 0 or capital X. It's really close to having the right one, but whatever. Now that you got it, I'll copy it. What is this? Let's take a look. Did he provide it in his video? Merch store, let's see.
cop watch training. To 15 feet.
I do like the over-the-shoulder shot.
And, like, everybody. So, but I would like to. Before I ever got into cop watching, and maybe I can pull up some examples of what we're with that one. So let me see if let me just check chat real quick. I wish I had a way I could check the chat at the same time doing the screen sharing. So it's just something I got to get a little more comfortable with, guys. I appreciate you bearing with me through it, So, or you could hear it. Number one, Redneck Girl, appreciate you telling me about that. And then let's see. Well, I think there wasn't really anything interesting in chat to report anyway. So let's go back to what we were talking about, and let's go to Cop Watch safety training, right? You Redneck Girl. So you don't. Let me just check real quick, and I'll add it up. Greatly appreciated. Definitely greatly appreciate that. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything go through as of yet, but if you did, I appreciate it. If you didn't, maybe thank you, babe. Maybe we can figure out why it didn't go through. Let's see. Let me just double check the. Maybe I put the link in wrong or something like that. So I better check on that first, I guess. Let's see. $broken official. Let's see if I got it right here. BROKNOFIL. I think I got the bottom, but I haven't seen anything come across yet. So I'll add you to the banner. Maybe we can figure out what the deal was, but I greatly appreciate you attempting. If it doesn't go through and it's not your fault, I greatly appreciate the attempt anyway. So I don't have a link to what? To Cash App? Let me think. I'll go ahead and put that in chat. That might be valuable to have anyways, right? Let's see. Bear with me, guys. Let's just go back to the cop watch training list so people have something to look at and food for thought right there while I work on this. So let's see. All right, we'll try to get this in here so anybody that's interested can donate, and I greatly appreciate that. Like I said, hopefully you guys are getting some value out of the content here. I try not to bore you guys to death because I know that law can be quite boring at times. So I don't blame anybody for not being interested in law from a entertainment perspective, but I'm just a nerd about that sort of stuff. So to me, it's fascinating. I'm just babbling here. I'm trying to pull this up. So let's see. All right, I should be having this here so I can put this into the chat right now. That should be a link if anybody's interested in donating. Again, if anybody donates, I will put your name to scroll across the bottom, unless, of course, you wish to remain anonymous. Then all you got to do is tell me, hey, don't put my name down there. But if you do, then I will put the name at the bottom and have it scrolling across. Give me just a second, guys. So let's see if I can pin that comment. So we're queued up. So that's the Cash App right there. And let's go ahead and see if we can pin this.
There you go. Now you can see me too.
Okay, so I clicked on a stuff that does.
For these porn links in the description.
Are important comments to remember to discuss
in the conversation.
Show. Well, that's helpful to know. All right, I'm just talking out loud. But there's if you were actually able to make a donation, I'll check for it as soon as we confirm that it went through. Then we'll go ahead and add your name to the bottom, and hopefully everybody is getting a kick out of being part of the show, trying to make this an interactive experience, like I've said before. So we're going to come up with some ideas and get people to be able to participate. I really like when people participate in the chat. It's a lot of fun, although when I'm playing content or when I'm playing videos, just to let you know, I can't really keep up with the chat all that well. I'm just going to try to get better at that stuff, guys. So let's see. Let's go back to Cop Watch safety training, and then I'll check in just a minute, Redneck Girl, and I appreciate you offering to do that. So, but anyways, so number one, distance on Cop Watch safety training, right? Distance 10 to 15 feet minimum. This one I think is probably the most ignored tip from what I've seen in cop watching lately. I think a lot of people have kind of forgotten to keep a little bit of distance. Just to give you a couple examples, Frickin' was out in, I believe it was the Grand Rapids area, if I remember correctly, had a sheriff's deputy, and he was speaking to the deputy, and he's speaking kind of in his authoritative tone, like he does. And then the deputy said something like, hey, I'm soft-spoken, so don't yell at me. Frickin' said, well, I just talk loud, or that's how I talk naturally. So, and then he said, I think, a colorful statement, and then bam, just like that, cop reaches out, grabs the phone out of her hand. So it can happen overnight, or it can happen at an instant, is what I meant to say. So distance 10 to 15 feet minimum. And of course, you do still want to be able to pick up the audio of what's going on when you're doing the cop watching. It a lot of times the audio is the most important part, right? So I think 10 to 15 feet. I would add to that I try to, anyways, have some awareness of what's going on. Like I said, it can happen in an instant. So, you know, it's safer to keep the distance. You know, I've been, you know, pretty close to cops, you know, interacting with them. I can usually tell, though, with situational awareness, whether it might turn into something unexpected or not. But, you know, the reason it'd be unexpected is because, you know, it just happens out of the blue. So that's distance is number one. And let's see if we can show a quick example of why that's important. So I'm going to mute this audio, by the way, so we're not going to hear it, but we're going to see the example. Okay. And this is just a cop watch, I believe, in Chicago. I believe this was Pink Camera Magic, or I don't hold me to it. But if I remember correctly, it's a female auditor or female cop watcher out in Chicago. And she's just talking to this guy, you know, he's saying, hey, come on in, let me get your ID. And of course, he's pretty upset. And you can see by his demeanor, he's, you know, kind of irritated or agitated. So I would say in that situation, you know, you definitely want to back up. You definitely don't want to be that close. And then we're going to see exactly why you keep your distance. So let me just fast forward this just a tiny bit, right? And we'll see why. Let's unmute this.
Hey, would you look, in my humble opinion,
law or judicial order that says that you cannot take this building.
Can I see that order?
Yes, come on in. We're gonna check your IDs too.
Oh,
okay, so he's right up on her. So if we're approached by cops, hey, what are you doing? What are you filming? Why? What's your name? You know how they start it. There's no reason why we have to allow them to get within 10 feet. Now, this all starts, in my humble opinion, by, of course, always keeping the jury watching in mind and to start immediately speaking.
And I like that a lot. Always keep a jury in mind, because a jury may have to watch the videos. And I think that was a very important aspect that was
just politely and professional,
Put on
confident, assertive type. So it'd be, good afternoon, sir. How are you today? Malazzo, I see your name is. What's your first name? Becky, or whatever the heck, right? If you can get on a first name basis, that can snap them out of the little training mode. You know, it appeals more to the humanity. And it shows on the video that you're trying to be friendly and cordial, right? An inviting type of thing. Hey, would you look, whoa, that's too close. For civilian safety, would you mind just keeping at least 10 feet away from me? I'll just speak up. We can hear each other just fine. But there's really no reason whatsoever for you to be within 3 feet of me. I consider that extremely unsafe. After all, you are armed and I am not. Just something along these lines. So distance is our friend. I don't know how many videos I've watched where it's not even a factor. They just let the cop walk up however close they want to. This is the opponent. They're armed to the teeth. And that walkie-talkie can bring all kinds of more weapons to the scene. So why are you letting them get so close? 15 feet is even better. I can see you from here. What that prevents is them being able to make any quick moves. In this video here, he snatches a camera right out. He would have never been able to do that if she had asked, you know, for him to stay away. Now, you don't try and make them walk backwards. You say, hey, I'm going to walk back 10 feet and just talk to you from here. That way it's a much safer environment, staying de-escalated, and we can communicate with mutual respect. You look like a professional. Can I expect you to act like a professional? I mean, a question like that's great. You know, so keep the distance. Keep the distance, please. My second point I want to make is, you know, everybody's just looking right at the cops with the camera in front of them. And of course, they're not in the shot. But a police officer is trained to gauge threat or to manipulate the perception of threat. If this should ever come across a prosecutor's office or ever go up in a trial or a civilian lawsuit, right? We are less threatening if we turn around. Now, if you're holding on a cell phone or whatever it is you're videotaping on, it's got a big.
And now the over the shoulder shot here. I'm just going to pause it. Number 2, over the shoulder shot. I watched a video with Bao in it, and Bao is excellent with the over the shoulder shot. I think it's very underused method to de-escalate a potentially dangerous situation. And so I would highly recommend, if nobody knows what the over-the-shoulder shot is, to consider incorporating that into cop watching. And then I'll show you a couple of examples where I've used it out there. So we'll come back to over-the-shoulder shot.
Big screen, you can see it, right? What I would do from 10 feet away, at least 15 is better, is turn around, have your back to the cop, talk over your shoulder, and then hold up the video so that either your head is in it or your shoulder or something, so that you can see the cop in the screen over your shoulder. Now, you might think, well, that's kind of weird. That seems unsafe. Well, if you're farther away, you should be fine. You can see that cop plainly in the video, but you're using it like a rear view mirror. Plus, you can also have situational awareness of what's going on in front of you, because there's going to be other cops that are coming around, and they are trained to encircle if given an open space to do so. That's just how bullies and predators like to move. Okay, so I like the over-the-shoulder. Then you can also speak to your audience. If you make direct eye contact with the camera, it's very relatable to the viewer. Again, we're always keeping the jury in mind. Make that direct eye contact. That's why they all do it on the news. They just stare into the camera lens. It's weird for them. It's weird for us, but do it. Just pretend the eyeballs of your viewers are on the other side of that lens.
That's number 3 is a great safety tip right there. And I think most of the cop watchers that I've seen lately, they do this one really well, is speak to the viewers through the lens. I would guess that the majority of the time that's unintentional, just because they're trying to engage with the audience. The cop watchers are trying to engage with their audience, but whether it's on purpose or just because they're naturally trying to engage with people in their chat, I think that one goes a long way to the safety, because then it doesn't make it personal, or you can actually kind of speak as far as not come across as a jerk. It's like, hey, I'm just relating to my audience, guys, and then it kind of also sends a message that other people are watching this right now. So it's like, you're not going to get away with your bullshit, right?
Connect with eyeball to eyeball while you're maintaining all these standards of professionalism and courtesy, and you're just trying to film in public, right? You're basically, all we're doing is trying to increase accountability and transparency for what they do with public funds on public land, right? Okay, so if that's the case, there's no need to be confrontational. There's no need to go head to head, face to face from 4 feet away. That's just silly. So distance is our friend, 10 to 15 feet. Look at your camera over your shoulder, look in front of you, have good situational awareness, and use the eyeballs to connect with your viewer. All right, I know some of you don't want to be seen on camera. Wear a hat or something. All right, so that was my second point, was shoot over the shoulder. If you have to use a selfie stick, I'd be fine for that, right? My third point was speak to the jury members and be professional. I've pretty much just covered that. The fourth one was give reason for the filming. When they come up to you and say, why are you filming? I mean, sure, we can.
See, now number 4, this is where I think you'll see a lot of objections with, especially MCC if he's still in here, because, MCC is great at remaining silent. And, I'm thinking, and I think MCC does it to, kind of highlight the point that he doesn't have to tell somebody what he's doing. So he's going to make the point kind of at the end where, I see a majority of people that go out and do quote unquote audits, right? Because you can't really tell people what you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to ruin the audit, right? So this one I could see where you'd have conflict and some people saying, well, hey, if I give the reason for filming and I'm doing an audit, that kind of gives it away. So that one I could see some disagreement on. But
say it's none of your business, or those reasons are mine. You could say that, but it cops the latitude to the jury. What you could say, it's much more effective.
And see, keep in mind, this is not only 10 tips for safety, but also effectiveness, which, if this is going to have to play out in front of a jury, which is nonviolent victimless crimes or a potential federal lawsuit, that's why the effectiveness right here may be just as equally important as the safety. But I'm focused on it simply for the safety aspect.
Well, for civilian safety, I'm trying to increase the accountability and transparency of what goes on here in this courtroom. Or if you're at a police station, you could say something like, well, there's an app being designed right now, and it's collecting a database of all police first and last names so that we can rate police officers with like a Yelp type app, so that the officers that are kind and respectful to the public will be rated very highly, and those who don't treat the public well at all will be rated very lowly, in the hopes that the bosses will see that, in hopes that the public will be more willing to work with police officers that show respect as to those who don't, and hopefully affect who gets hired and who doesn't, how cops act. So we're collecting information, public information, by the way, for a database to help accountability through an app on everyone's cell phone.
And speaking of a accountability app, I think I saw something about a website from, and I'm almost 100% sure it was James Madison Audits. I think it was in his community page, if I remember correctly. But it looks like somebody was developing a tool on the internet, like a website, to be able.
I'm going to go ahead and check out his Cash App link here, see if it actually works. Aha, looks like it does. There's his QR. Oh, my phone's in use. On the top right here. Yeah, I can save this image maybe. Let's open it in a new tab. Hey, there it is. Save image. This is not my computer. And don't know if I want to use the $sign in a file name, but we'll put it under pictures. There we go. Check it out later. Scan to pay with Cash App. Joshua L. Broken official. Cool. I might check that out and set one up for myself. But all right, back on track here. Yeah, the computer's running a bit slow.
To monitor or basically give you a more honest, I guess, rating of, public servants and police officers, things like that. So I'm not sure exactly what it was. I know it was something about keeping track of government employees. I'm not sure if it was just police or also CPS agents, attorneys, judges, things like that. But anyways, it looks promising anyways. And I would definitely like to see something like that, because let's just be honest, when something goes to internal affairs in a police department, it gets buried and then nobody can find out the results of it, or, nothing was done at all. They just shoved it under the rug, right? So, I think that's awesome that we would have a national system and easily be able to tell what we're working with right away. But,
I mean, it's going to be that lengthy. But just something like that, what are they going to do? You talk to the jury, hey, we're just building a database for an app that's like Yelp. It reviews police. In fact, you're being reviewed right now. And I assume that because you're going to act like such a professional, I'll be able to give you 5 stars. You just make this stuff up. But to me, cops have never heard of the app for Yelp app for cops, for judges, for lawyers. And if they're confronted with that,
so I guess where I was going with that whole thing about the James Madison audits put out there, if that's true, that's great. That would be a great reason for filming, right? Hey, I'm participating in this app, and I'm just trying to do my little part or whatever. So if that's true, and that website does exist, and it's a good website or whatever, you might want to keep that in mind.
Their training doesn't have a standard answer for it. All right, they're probably gonna say, oh, well, who knows what they're gonna say? They could ignore it, move on to something else. Or they could say, oh, you can't do that, or say, oh, that's fine. Who knows what response you're gonna get? But it's responsive. It's, hey, I'm not a threat to you. You should say, get it out of your head that I'm some kind of weirdo doing some kind of creepy stuff. I am no threat to anybody. I'm not even armed.
I think that's the more important thing. And it might, instead of giving a reason to film, is just come off as non-threatening, right? Or come off as not a threat. So I think that's the most important to safety anyways, is to present yourself as somebody that's not going to be a threat to anybody.
Or if you're armed, don't say that. That's your right. To carry a gun according to them, right? I'll carry one anyway, but anyway. So give a reason. The jury would like to hear the reason. It's just a matter of being polite and courteous. Just make one up if it's not true. You don't have to tell the truth to these people, right? Just say, I'm filming in public to increase accountability and transparency for the safety of civilians. We're making an app, creating a database so everyone's got every first and last name. I mean, we can already get any cop's home address, cell phone, and email. That's super easy. You guys live in a surveillance state too. But we're just trying to get cops to treat people right. And I assume you're going to do the same. You look like a professional. You're going to act with professionalism with me here today. Just throw them off their game. They don't hear nothing like that, right? Just throw them off their game a little bit. So number 4 was, just give a reason. There's no reason to go, no. If you say, I don't have to tell you, in their training, you slide into potential terrorist category. We don't need.
See, and I do see a lot of people that, I'm not going to say they make that mistake, but that is the reason they give for filming. And so I guess I would strongly agree with, with what was said just now about, how that comes across. And you might want to keep that in the back of your mind, or if that's the approach that you've been doing, maybe consider how that comes off, because I strongly agree with that. And keep in mind, this video was put out in 2018. I mean, it's only got 1,000 views, but the guy who developed this channel,
I'm agreeing with him on that one.
And then as soon as it grows to a certain size, he goes ahead and comes out with a different channel so it doesn't get too big. So this guy likes to stay under the radar, right? So that also lends a lot of credibility to the stuff that I hear on this channel.
According to their training, we can get out of that super easily by saying, don't worry, I'm not casing the joint, right? I'm not filming for some future operation. I know you guys think in all scary military terms with all huge guns.
And yes, and that's the reason, because that's what the training tells them to do. And then people that work in government, that's, the natural fear, people that work in government, from what I can tell, majority of them just follow rules and they blindly obey to whatever, whatever they're asked to do. And part of that is based out of fear, right? And so that fear kind of manifests itself into other areas in life. If you're that afraid simply that you have to follow rules, you can't question anything, right? What's that tell you about something that you perceive as an actual threat? How fearful are you going to be? So that's what I'd add to that.
We don't. All I'm armed with is a camera and truth, and we're just increasing accountability.
I think, honestly, that's the best thing, is to say, hey, all I have on me is a camera, and I'm no threat to anybody, right?
Building transparency through an app that's going to be reviewing cops like you with a Yelp-style system of like 5 stars. How many stars do you think I should give you? Just say anything to throw them off like that. It doesn't have to be true. All right. Number 5 is, if you can get a cop to tell you his or her first name and then start using your name, whatever name you want to use as your first name. It could be a nickname. They don't need to know what your legal name is. Use a nickname for your first name. Ask them what their first name is so you can speak to them. Hey, Jason. Now, their training isn't going to like that because Jason isn't as authoritative as Officer Johnson, right? But you can break through that. Talk to the jury. Be like, I understand that you want to be called by your title, But you and I are just human beings on the street here. We're having a peaceful interaction. I mean, you have core values about customer satisfaction with the civilian population, and honor and integrity, all this stuff, right? Well, so do I. So what's the harm in us using our first names? That would be even better, right? We'd be more familiar, like we know each other better. Really defuse.
All right, so there is a bit of a concern there. If you're providing false information, you could actually get in trouble for that. So the idea that you oh, what did I do here? I bumped a button. Sorry.
But you and I are just human beings on the street here. We're having a peaceful interaction.
I bumped something. Let's see. Anyway, so the idea that you give a false first name is not a good one. You don't ever do that. Lying in that respect to the police, you could get in a lot more trouble. So it's best if you don't. At least that's what I believe. Okay, I click, you respond.
I mean, you have core values about customer satisfaction with the civilian population, and honor and integrity, all this stuff, right? Well, so do I. So what's the harm in us using our first names? That would be even better, right? We'd be more familiar, like we know each other better. Really defuse, de-escalate the tension in the air. Make calm, smile, laugh. Right? See if you can get them by their first name. Now, they'll probably clown each other. You were talking to that guy, you told him his first name, who's calling you by his first name? Oh, that's a no, don't do that. Be aware, they probably have training like that. But if you are the one who seeks, reaches out in that way, it's like the olive branch looks really good for any potential juries looking through your camera lens.
And again, you keep hearing the reference back to juries and how this will play out in front of a jury. And I think that comes from, number one, the expectation that there's going to be nonviolent victimless charges against you if you do cop watching for any length of time. You're going to eventually come across nonviolent victimless charges, right? And then part of that comes if you can't get the case dismissed or thrown out before trial and you end up in front of a jury. This is where that sort of stuff comes into play. And later on down the road, if you have the opportunity to do a federal lawsuit, that's what he's discussing right now. I'm not so much interested in like federal lawsuit type stuff. I just want to see people be safe when they're out there. If you get a federal lawsuit, that's great, especially if somebody did something wrong to you, you deserve to be compensated for it. But the majority of people I know aren't really in this to sue anyways, but it's always helpful to know in the back of the mind of the jury members, or keep that in the back of your mind when you're out in the field, because that's probably far more likely that will happen, is you have to anticipate how it will play out in front of a jury in a criminal proceeding.
So you are being super friendly and accommodating and polite and respectful. You don't have to mean all this stuff. You just have to say, just kill them with kindness. Just kill them with kindness. And revenge through mockery is the best there is. These people know exactly how to deal with suspicious behavior and anger, but they don't have a clue how to deal with mockery. None whatsoever. They don't know what to do with populations laughing at them.
And the whole mocking them type thing, and I understand it. There a lot of people, you might have a chip on your shoulder, or, you've been treated poorly and you really just have a disdain for just the fact that people would belong to a policing unit or take that as their job. And I totally understand that. I'm not trying to tell you that you're wrong or you're right or whatever. I also know a lot of people that come at it from a position of understanding, like, hey, these people, they don't really know any better. They've been trained this way. They kind of got immersed in the culture, bad culture, and so it's kind of not their fault. Not that it's not their fault or they have no personal accountability, but you get what I'm saying, right? So I come at it more from the compassionate and the understanding point of view, just because generally that's how I am. But that's why I would say stay away from the mockery so much. But
ridiculous for silly costumes.
It is sometimes, but I try to keep that to a minimum.
There's silly quote unquote knowledge of the quote unquote law. All right. If they're wearing sunglasses, ask for them to take them off. Because you're an armed man, and I like to know where your eyes are going, because you can make any dangerous move at any point in time for any reasons that you believe you have, whether you have them or not.
And if you guys haven't noticed, cops wear sunglasses all the time. And yes, that's predatory instincts, right? Like we're all trained. We can all, the human eye is, focuses on, you can tell by somebody's eyes basically what they want to focus on, and you can tell predatory, staring, I guess, if you will. So, when cops wear sunglasses, it's no surprise why, right? Because, if you're going to be checking everybody out and you're going to be looking at them like you're the predator and they're your prey, so it's no surprise to see cops wearing sunglasses.
Where your eyes are looking. If you want to stand your back to the sun so that nothing's in your face, that's fine. We can turn. But I appreciate it if you take your sunglasses off. All right. We're up to number 5. Number 6, look up any laws that they give you. Now, yes, this means if you're live streaming, you're going to have either assistants or 2 cell phone cameras with data plans. One to be live streaming and one to look up on the internet. Oh, that's such and such 4205, right? Well, look it up. Go to Google, whatever your state is, penal code 4205, whatever the hell they call it. Look it up and read it right there in front of them, because very likely it's not going to apply to what you're doing. And that makes them look silly. Like they don't know what they're talking about while they call themselves a law enforcement officer. All these little reasons they come up, oh, it's against this law, it's against this law. There's nothing actually written down that says if they're standing in front of the public courthouse filming the public courthouse, you can charge them with this, threaten them with this, detain them for these reasons. They just do it because you're doing something suspicious. Detain you for something suspicious, so take away the suspicion. Like there's no reason for you to be suspicious, okay? Like all I'm doing is increasing accountability and transparency around here. I'm not casing the joint. I have no desire to do anything violent. I would never do anything like that. I'm a totally peaceful person. All right? This is, of course, after you've maintained your distance, and we've already explained that. So make them look up any laws. All right. Number 7, you get the second an officer enters into their training path of detainment and arrest, which is, you got any ID, or what are you doing here? Anything that's not friendly, and most likely this will happen, right? Anything that's not friendly, ask for the supervisor. Oh, I can see that you are basically trying to ask me a bunch of questions to probably get me to incriminate myself so you can detain and or arrest me, maybe even hurt me. So I'm going to go ahead and ask for your supervisor, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you once.
And of course, I see the majority of cop watchers now that are really good at number 7 here, asking for a supervisor or a manager, if you will. It's kind of like, it's kind of cop watch Karens out there. You know what I mean? I don't care if somebody calls me a cop watch Karen, but asking for a supervisor is usually always a smart move, because that kind of sends the message that, hey, I know you're not the most powerful person in my world right now, even though you're putting yourself in that position. You're not going to dominate me here. So asking for a supervisor or manager is a good option to have, except for when they reply back with, well, I am the supervisor, right? That's always good to hear.
I don't trust you right now. I know what you're doing. I know you're training. I know what you're trying to accomplish. And you have no reason to go down that path. I've been nothing but respectful and polite to you. So why don't we get a supervisor out here? Because I'm not going to talk anymore until supervisor's out here. But I will talk to them. Obviously, this is being live streamed, Officer Milazzo. So you can't ever get rid of the footage. They're going to see this. And are you going to start making demands and escalate the situation? Or are you going to be professional and de-escalate the situation?
And see, and that's a good point too. Static recording versus going live. Now, when I'm out there, I always go live, right? I always am live because let's just say, I guess I have a couple reasons for that, but static recording, obviously if a situation turns dangerous or takes an unexpected turn.
Yeah, like he's saying, I'd rather go live, and that's why I recently bought the new phone. I mean, if any of you saw my first attempt at cop watch / audit, I guess it was really cop watch. In any case, if any of you saw my first one, I was essentially using one of my old phones along with my new phone. And I was just testing to see how it all worked and if I could daisy chain them, set up multiple streams from them. Anyway, I that's why when I saw StreamYard, I was like, oh, this is perfect. Because YouTube had that limit of 1,000 subscriptions. Now it's down to 50, which is great. But no matter what, I wanted to be able to live stream before I began doing this. I didn't want to simply have a static recording, as Broken System is saying here. A static recording you may not get back from the court system for multiple months, if not years. So that's why I went with what I've gone with. Anyway, we're going to continue. Oh, I did want to point out how it's kind of interesting. The original YouTube poster of this video has his mouse sitting on the red line down here, while the Broken System, Broken Trust has his mouse bouncing around all over the place. And I'm just playing around with mine so you all see it. I find it funny. Going on.
Somebody can smash a phone out of your hand. I have a video where somebody comes up, try to punch me in the face, and the first thing they do is slap the phone out of my hand, right? It's like, well, I'm live right now. So if you're going to do something like that, you're going to have to do it live and you're not going to be able to erase the footage, because that's what I find so interesting. Or maybe that's not the right word. Interesting isn't the right word, but that's what I find so just shocking. And that's probably not the right word either. But cops try to smash a phone onto the ground. I've seen so many videos where cops are just stomping the hell out of the phone, trying to like.
I think he's trying to come up with the word unbelievable, maybe, because it is unbelievable that they would do that on a live stream. However, I forgot about it today. I do have this nice little static recording device. It's a pin camera. You'll notice right in the eye here, or right above the pocket grabber part, there's an eyeball, and that eye is the camera. It'll record, I believe, about 45 minutes to an hour. When I turn it on, there's a little blue light. See, there we go. Gets a little blue light. And if I push the button again, it begins recording. I'm not going to do a recording right now with it, but it has two settings. And if you open up the middle here, you can adjust it and set it to record or take a photo. It's a USB connection. You just plug it into USB B port, and there you have it. If I begin to lose, if I have someone approach me or something, my plan is to turn that on when somebody approaches. I keep forgetting. Like today, I forgot to do it, but nobody approached in a negative way or tried to do anything, so it wasn't too big of a deal. I mean, even the security guard at the courthouse earlier today was respectful, so it was pretty cool. I call him security guard. I'm pretty sure he's an actual police officer, but I'm not certain. He didn't have a badge or anything on. He just had a jacket. So, and his jacket didn't have any insignias that I noticed. The TriMet security guy or safety guy that spoke with us, that was interesting. I think I might have gotten a shot of his face after he got off the max and had his mask off. But anyway, we'll move on. Yeah.
Race the recording, and of course, at times some people are static recording, they're not live, right? But it's like, if that goes to internal affairs, how does that play out in front of a jury without the jury knowing exactly what was happening right there? You're trying to get rid of the evidence, dude. Like, you're trying to commit a crime, and then you're trying to hide the evidence. So it's the equivalent, if you will, of trying to burn a body or hide a body. It's like, oh shit, I did something wrong. Guess I have to fucking hide my fucking crime, right?
Things like this. Number 8, call out every bully move. Okay.
I think this is the most. Well, I shouldn't say the most. This is one of the most underestimated and underviewed aspects, and this is something that you have to be even better at if you're in court in front of a judge, right? And I made that mistake in Novi because I didn't call out the bully moves that the judge had, and I don't have a recording of it, so I can't share with you exactly what I'm talking about. But I made mistakes, let's just say, with that judge, right? And I didn't call out the bully moves that he kept making in the courtroom. And without a recording, it's kind of hard for me to explain. But there were a couple instances. For example, the judge in Novi said to me, "Well, we can, we're supposed to be mutually respectful to each other," something along those lines. And he had me in handcuffs at that point. I held up the handcuffs and I said, "Well, let the record show I'm in handcuffs right now. Is this what the court considers mutual respect?" Right? And he didn't like it. He didn't like that response whatsoever. He got even angry, right? He got incredibly angry. And what I should have done is called out the bully moves from that point on. But I made mistakes, and I admit that I should have been better, and I should have been better prepared. But I do know for the future that when you call out the bully moves, especially if you plan on speaking for yourself in court, this is critical right here. And I think people could get better at doing that because I know how powerful it is, and I'll show you some examples of that too.
If a cop does something that a bully would do, call it out in very polite, professional terms. Now, hopefully, you're at least 15 feet away with your back to the officer, filming him from over your shoulder.
See, and that ties into these other ones that were already discussed. But anybody that doesn't know what the over-the-shoulder shot is, if you add that to your cop watching skill set, man, that's a life changer right there.
Closer to your range, call it out. I've asked you to please stay away 10 feet. I'm going to retreat even more to maintain that 10 feet. But every time you cross that 10 feet, you escalate the situation. You make me more nervous. You make this a more volatile situation. I'd appreciate it if you show me the same respect I'm showing you. And for civilian safety concerns, stay away. Stay at least 10 feet away from me. It's not a difficult request, right? If he puts his hand on his gun and he rests it there like that, do not let that slide.
That's very important. Anything with weapons, right? You want to de-escalate ASAP. ASAP.
Would you mind please getting your hand off your gun? There is no reason for your hand to be on your gun right now. You've got a horde of people behind you with the blue line. I'm out here, no weapons in your face. I have my hands on camera. I am no threat to you whatsoever. Get your hand off your gun, please. Right? You got to call this stuff out. If you and you let it slide, they're just going to move to the next step after that. Oh, they let that one slide. Let me see about this one. Oh, they let that one slide. Let me see about this one. If they actually detain you, call that up. Sir, a detainment is an arrest without the handcuffs. That's all it is. Are you claiming that I'm being detained? And so if I try to walk away from you right now, you're going to tackle me to the ground and then put cuffs on me. Is that correct? Make them verbalize the threat that they are claiming to be able to do to you.
Verbalizing the threats. That's key right there. I think that is an undeveloped skill from a lot of cop watchers that I see. And I don't know if it's because somebody just picked up a camera and went out there and started recording cops and then, kind of didn't pay attention to how some of the other guys do it. But, I see that as, something that I don't see a lot of. And usually if you're going to be safe doing this, I think you need to know exactly how to do that, calling out the bully moves and being able to do that properly.
By the word detainment. Make them talk about the threat.
So again, it was verbalize the violence. If you can get them to verbalize the violence or verbalize what they're going to do to you, you can often prevent it from happening. And then, if you needed to use that later on down the road in front of a jury, then that's a win. You win. Oh,
A lot of them, he goes, oh yeah, I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do this. Yeah, she'll be taken to the ground. Taken into custody. You'll be jailed, arrested on the spot. Things like this. Number 9. Courthouse is a great place for cop watching. They're really great places for interviews.
Cop watching at courthouses. So this is kind of where the majority of my cop watching is focused, actually, because I go to courthouses because I am on a mission to get cameras into every courtroom in America, at least do my small part to get that to happen and make that a reality, even though it's just the natural progression of how it's going to happen. So it's not me that's going to do it, but I'm pushing to make it happen as fast as possible. Let's put it that way. Or I'm trying to do my part to make that happen as quickly as possible. And by the way, I'll issue this challenge again. Anybody that missed it yesterday, there's a judge in Novi who basically put in writing that nobody can record on court property. And so, if you guys want, I don't know how you feel about that. Judge trying to tell you that you can or cannot record on the, well, in his own words, it was courthouse property, right? It says, no new criminal offenses for me. This is conditions. Monitor defendant. Defendant, agent, or employee shall not videotape, live stream, record, or disseminate on courthouse property, sidewalk, or parking lot. So this judge just put in writing that nobody is allowed to live stream, record, or disseminate on courthouse property from the sidewalk or parking lots. Courthouse property, huh? I think they own that courthouse and that property and that parking lot. Last time I checked, they're not the owners. They just work there, and they're public servants that work for us. So, I don't know how everybody doesn't have such a problem with that. I would go and do it, but that's condition of my bond. I might just be tempted to do it just to push the envelope and see if they're actually going to, give me a contempt charge for doing that or revoke my bond for doing it because, I just know how wrong that is. So you mean to tell me that, somebody else coming to support me, they can't live stream from the parking lot of a courthouse or not? And it tells me that sends a message. Like if they're trying to say or make rules telling people they can't do that, when would it stop, right? So anyways, courthouse interviews, I guess I kind of got off on the tangent there because that's kind of my cup of tea and that's what I really push for. And that's where I like to be as far as pushing the envelope and recording at a courthouse. So, but what he's talking about is conducting courthouse interviews and things like that with people coming in to look more professionally.
You've got a captive audience. They come in and out of that courthouse.
That is quite interesting. That's basically a violation of the First Amendment. Whether it be on courthouse property or not, it's a violation of First Amendment, especially considering courthouse is public property. I can almost understand not allowing cameras in a courtroom or in juvenile court. However, I say almost because I don't understand it fully. It's not reasonable. The freedom of the press, we should be allowed to see what's going on and record court cases and everything. I have a friend in the Dalles who has done court recording with his camera and such. I don't know if he's been charged with anything because he was recording in court. He got permission. He went through the proper channels to get permission to do it, but I don't know if anything has come of it. I might contact him and see what's going on there. But in any case, back on track here.
They don't want to be there. Most of them are there for nonviolent victims' crimes. These are people that will be supportive of people trying to hold judges accountable for this nonsense. Family court, divorce court, drug court, property taxes.
And all of that stuff, unless there's an objection by the litigants, all of that stuff should be live streamed anyways. It's a public forum, right? So if I'm going into family court and I say, hey, I want a recording of this and I would like this live streamed, right? Who's going to tell me why should the judge have control of that decision? Give me one good reason why the judge should have control of that decision. It's your proceeding. Okay, I mean, I'll give you an example of something that could be used as maybe a decent objection is, hey, you could potentially record other cases that come up before or after you. Okay, fine. Well, then I'll leave my recording device with somebody else, an officer of the court, and then as soon as it's my turn, I'll grab my recording device, we'll record my proceeding, or we'll live stream my proceeding. I should have that right, unless I don't want it recorded. Then you should have the right to say, hey, no, I don't want the live stream camera. But I believe it should be on the individual. It shouldn't be a judge or a magistrate or a court administrator's position to make that decision.
Taking away people's homes through asset forfeiture and whatnot. I mean, there's so many traffic courts, there's so many opportunities to do interviews. So on a non-windy day, unless you've got the right equipment, get out there with a microphone, maybe even a little freestanding sign, or maybe you've got a helper or something, make it funny. If you really, really, really want to hit the bullseye, put on your sign, as the prosecution provided any factual evidence regarding the element of jurisdiction, question mark. Put that sign out there and see what happens. You are going to annoy them more than any other words you could ever write on a sign through what I just suggested. And then start talking to people going by about, hey, you got just a couple minutes for an interview? If you want, I can have it off camera and just do the audio only if you're not comfortable being on camera. And just talk to the people, make it light, make it funny. Hey, so if you don't mind, what are you here for? And do you think that's right? And are you happy about that? Or what's your opinion about that type of law, statute, or code? By the way, how do you know that all these statutes and codes they write apply to you? Does it say anywhere that they apply to you? Is that in the Constitution anywhere?
I'm actually going to go back a little bit. I want to hear what he suggested putting on the sign.
So on a non-windy day, unless you've got the right equipment, get out there with a microphone, maybe even a little freestanding sign, maybe if you got a helper or something, make it funny. If you really, really, really want to hit the bullseye, put on your sign, as the prosecution provided any factual evidence regarding the element of jurisdiction, question mark. Put that sign out there and see what happens. You are going to annoy them more than any other words you could ever write on a sign through what I just suggested. And then start talking to people going by about, hey, you got just a couple minutes for an interview? If you want, I can have it off camera and just do the audio only if you're not comfortable being on camera. And just talk to the people, make it light, make it funny. Hey, so if you don't mind, what are you here for? And do you think that's right? And are you happy about that? Or what's your opinion about that type of law, statute, or code? By the way, how do you know that all these statutes and codes they write apply to you? Does it say anywhere that they apply to you? Is that in the Constitution anywhere? Or, what is the Constitution to you, by the way?
You can get onto a tangent just with what was said right there is, because if you start bringing up statutes, codes, do they apply to me? It sounds like sovereign citizen talk, or, sovereign citizen, the name of a group that a lot of cops or a lot of people in government try to put you in, and then a lot of people in a watchdog community try to attach that name to you. What it really is, it's a domestic terrorist label. So you're basically coming across, I think, with when you ask if the statutes and the codes apply to you, it comes off as sovereign citizen-like. But if you know a little bit about law, you'll know that statutes, codes, they aren't really laws. Like, a lot of them are based and founded in law, especially the ones that actually have actual victims, right? But statutes, codes, ordinances, rules, they are not really laws, okay? They have some statutes, codes that are laws, but not all of them. And then that's where people get confused. And then I'll pull up an interesting Supreme Court decision that'll give you a little bit more light into that. But before I get too off topic.
And maybe have a list of the 10 amendments. Like, what of these 10 amendments do you think you actually have all the time? All you have to do is say, hey, I'm exercising my 4th or 5th or 6th or whatever, 2nd or 1st amendment, therefore leave me alone. Ask them questions like this. If they see you acting like a professional journalist with a camera doing interviews, you're going to be effective. You're going to be effective.
But I'll just add to that. I mean, some guys can pull that off with a professional approach and still keep it entertaining or keep people engaged. Just one example, like Game Against the Press, he's pretty professional and he still has the ability to entertain and keep people engaged, or at least he does with me. But it's very hard to do that. So I see a lot of people taking like the sillier approach, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that because I do like comedy. So it's difficult sometimes to keep a professional approach and really keep people interested in what you're doing. So it takes a tremendous skill set to both pull off the professionalism and then B, keep it entertaining or enjoyable to watch. So I see a lot of people that might struggle with number 9.
Anyway. Effective? I mean protected. Not only are you going to have great content to put on your channel, but I think will get a lot of views and shares.
See, and that's where it takes a tremendous skill set to both pull off the professionalism and then B, keep it entertaining or enjoyable to watch. So I see a lot of people that might struggle with number 9.
By effective,
and keep people engaged, or at least he does with me. But it's very hard to do that. So I see a lot of people taking like this sillier approach, and I'm not saying there's anything.
All right, it would seem he's gone live.
Just had to get a hold on.
On,
it's dark.
Another video, so
you guys don't need to see this anyways. But please pay attention to this whole message right now. If you're watching this and you're watching this on a replay,
it looks like I'm late.
I'm going to be going live on January 3rd. If you've been paying attention to the streams that I've been doing, I appreciate you all. The last stream that I did is very important. And when I come back, when I got some more time on StreamYard, I will follow up with the last live that I did, which we're putting together a Cop Watch Dream Team. So if one person's in here, Tapatios, I'm just doing a quick message, man. I had to go live right now just to let everybody know I'm over 2,000 subscribers. I appreciate everybody that's helped me along the way. A big shout out to my man, San Joaquin. He featured my video again for a second time. And man, that San Joaquin boost, man, just pushed me right up over the 2,000 mark. So I had to go live. I'm not going live the way I would like to, which is, doing the podcast or the live streams, so, but we'll be back on the live streams on the 3rd. We're going to wrap up the topic. Happy New Year's. Yeah, you too, Tapio. So, but I had to do a quick live tonight to tell you, everybody go in and comment on my last live stream that I did. Tell me your top 5 Cop Watch Dream Team that's driving in a tour bus, cruising the country, because we're going to come back to that issue on the 3rd. Hey, thanks, Cheese Bear. Thanks for the, for the well wishes right there. 2,000 subs. I never thought I would get there. Got there in less than a year. Big reason for that is SJVT and San Joaquin News Now. DirectE shared my video that helped me get a lot of subscribers, and I didn't think I'd hit the 2,000 mark by the new year, but I did. So I'm just doing this live real quick. It's going to be not the way I want to do it. I'd rather do a live stream where we can finish up our talking about the Cop Watch Dream Team. So again, anybody listening to this, please listen to the full message, because I'm not going to keep you guys long. This is going to be short, sweet, and to the point. I just wanted to say thank you for the 2,000 subs. We're going to keep doing the live shows. I get 20 hours a month. So we're going to try to keep it to valuable content only. We're going to get the biggest bang for our buck on these live streams. Okay. So thank you for that. Thank you, Rochelle, for being our top fan. And thank you to M Star Media for not only sharing my video, but she also gave me a donation. And then I'll release the name of the other donation as long as there's no objections to me releasing the name of the other donation I got yesterday on the live stream. But thank you so much to all those people. And so this is, like I said, this is going to be short, sweet, to the point. We're going to be back on the live streams on the 3rd. We're going to wrap up our dream team. And with that being said, I feel like partying because I reached 2,000 subscribers. So my man Ice Cube got with me and we kind of paired up to do a little karaoke. So I'm going to play that for you guys. And this is my way of saying thank you for helping me get to 2,000 subbies.
No. Nope, not a fan.
So that being said, guys, that was my way of saying thank you for helping me get 2,000 subs. My man Ice Cube was nice enough to be a karaoke guest with me. So everybody, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for helping me get 2,000 subbies. Let's come back on the 3rd and let's talk about our dream team of cop watchers. Tapatios, share my live stream, my last live that I did, my last live panel. And I want Tapatios, I want you to submit who's your top 5 dream team that we're taking across the country. And everybody help me get the word out so we can get as many comments in there from people giving us our top 5 cop watchers. So when we come back on the 3rd, we'll have plenty to talk about. So that being said, thank you, everybody. I told you I'd keep this short and sweet. I'm not going to ramble on and on. So this is under 5 minutes, and I appreciate everybody for listening. And if you listen to this later, feel free to share my last live so we can come back and talk about our all-star dream team on the 3rd of January. Much love to everybody. I love you all so much for the support. Thank you so much. Good night.
So this keyboard is shaped differently than I'm used to. So every time I reach up to hit end, I wind up hitting delete.
Wrong with that because I do like comedy. So, it's difficult sometimes to keep a professional approach and really keep people interested in what you're doing. So it takes a tremendous skill set to both pull off the professionalism and then B, keep it entertaining or enjoyable to watch. So I see a lot of people that might struggle with number 9.
Like effective, I mean protected. Protect. Not only are you gonna have great content to put on your channel, but I think we get a lot of views and shares.
See, and that's where, and of course that's where we disagree because I see a lot of people that are more serious and they don't get a lot of views. I mean, So just from what I've seen, anyways.
You're going to be more protected because they'll realize that you're a person with subscribers with potential attention. You're someone who looks good in front of a jury. You're someone who's acting with respect and comedy instead of anger and defiance.
See, and again, that's why, as a collective, like people that would identify like as a cop watcher. I mean, that I will say I am definitely a cop watcher. I'm a professional cop watcher is what I would label myself as. So when I say I'm not an auditor, I am a cop watcher for sure. So anybody that would identify in the cop watching community or as a cop watcher, that's why if you're gonna say you're a cop watcher, you should have the collective, or how the public is going to perceive people that do cop watching as a collective. You should always keep that in the back of your mind. Not saying that I am perfect or that I'm giving cop watchers a good name or a bad name. I'm just saying that's why some of the silliness or some of the more agitating approaches may not be in the favor of an overall group. So I guess hopefully I said that properly. But anyways, let's keep going.
All right. So just something to think about. There's a lot of people going out there doing cop watching, but very few do it in front of courthouses, and that's why I chose this video to kind of. I'll just play the background, put the sound off. And the 10th one is, man, more remaining silent. Most all cop watchers do not know legalese, and you're not, speaking and trained as a lawyer would.
And that's part of what I'm trying to do, obviously, on this channel is to, kind of pass along the things that I've learned, because what legalese is, just for anybody that's unfamiliar. I mean, I was unfamiliar with it, so don't feel bad. It's a different language, really. It's a tricky language, which means that they're the same words as what we're all used to using, right? Like the word, I just went over them yesterday. There's 3 of them that are very tricky. May, must, and shall. Those 3 words are very tricky, and they're used in contracts, and they're used in court paperwork and criminal proceedings as well. As soon as you learn to spot may, and they're used in court as what we're all used to using, right? Like the word, I just went over them yesterday. There's 3 of them that are very tricky. May, must, and shall. Those 3 words are very tricky, and they're used in contracts, and they're used in court paperwork and criminal proceedings as well. As soon as you learn to spot may, must, and shall, you will see
May,
paperwork
must,
completely
and
different
shall.
once you know the distinction between those 3 words and what you understand as common English, or what you probably understand as common English. I can only speak for myself, versus what it says in legalese terminology and contract terminology, because you will probably be shocked. Those words don't mean what you think they mean. So
that's to your detriment. Obviously, that's not something I can just give somebody. It takes a little bit of time and training and learning and whatnot. But unless you're that proficient, unless you're fluent in legalese, unless you can verbally dominate any cop, lawyer, or judge on the planet with a fair microphone, you really shouldn't be just improv style speaking with them, having conversations with them.
And that's kind of what I've been saying as well. So I would say err on the side of caution and more remaining silent. And I haven't caught myself in any of the recordings making a mistake yet, but I got to be careful of that too, just not to be overconfident and kind of slip up a little bit. But that goes back to what I was saying about being able to spot incriminating questions. I think that's incredibly valuable. But I don't know. Tell me what you guys think.
More silent you remain, the better. You certainly don't have to answer any of their questions. All right? But yes, more silent. But in a silent way out of respect. Oh, sir, see.
And if you didn't see in the background, that's why you keep the 10 feet, 15 feet distance, because
really
this is how quick things can happen right here. So instead of paying attention to what you're listening to, pay attention to the video portion of this.
You remain, the better. You certainly don't have to answer.
This guy, look at that look on his face, by the way. But so I mean, you can kind of tell that this is coming, especially being a Monday morning quarterback. You know what happened, and you can kind of tell right now. But watch how quick this happens, right? Watch.
But yes, more
boom.
Silent. But in a silent way,
just like that, things can go from peaceful to violence.
Respect. Now, sir, see, that's another question you're asking me, hoping that I'll incriminate myself. You're trying to compel me to, speak against my own self-interest. I don't have the assistance of counsel here. I'm not going to do that. I know you think that a lot of people aren't smart enough to recognize what you're doing, but I am one of those few people who's smart enough to do it. Therefore, it's in my best interest to remain silent, with all due respect. And then from then on, with all due respect, I decline to answer your question. With all due respect, I decline to answer your question. With all due respect, I'm going to remain silent. Can you please stop asking me questions? Because as you can see, I'm not going to answer any of them. I'm more remaining silent. So these are my quick 10 points. Just wanted to bounce it off you.
So those are the 10 points. And I'm going to try to pull up a couple of my own videos just to use it as examples, just because I know how to navigate them easier. Not that I want to show off my videos, But anyway, so the one I want to focus on first, I think, is the over-the-shoulder shot, because this one I think is a little a little secret or a less known tip for effective cop watching, and I'll show you what that looks like here in just a second. Let me see if I can go to my channel. And over the shoulder shot, it really is masterfully. If you guys, hey, you guys might already know what the over the shoulder shot is, but Bao does it masterfully. And I do it. I've only done it a few times, but you know, when I felt the need that hey, things are getting a little hectic. Let me see if I can find them here. So we'll go through the over the shoulder shot, right? Okay, here, I'll give you an example of the over the shoulder shot, right? Okay, this is me at a police department, and I'm just simply there to arrange.
Because it's funny, my 3-year-old came out, or my 8-year-old came out and gave me a hug. My 3-year-old almost had a catheter put in him. My 3-year-old almost had a catheter put in him. This is not funny, ma'am.
She really does not like me. She works at the local police department.
This is tragic. My 3-year-old almost had a catheter put in.
Arrange. Okay, this is me at a police department, and I'm just go through the things are getting on my channel. And over the shoulder shot, it really is masterfully. If you guys, hey, you guys might already know what the over the shoulder shot is, but Bao does it masterfully. And I do it. I've only done it a few times, but you know, when I felt the need that hey, things are getting a little hectic. Let me see if I can find them here.
Year-old almost had a catheter put in him. This is not funny, ma'am.
She really does not like me. She works at the local police department.
This is tragic. This is so sad and so tragic. Take a copy and let me see it. Well, then let me see it. You can hold it up. That's fine. I'm recording. I'm recording it. Okay. You have been appointed by Will as.
So these guys are just being at me, right? This guy was basically just.
Holding that up.
You
can hold it up. That's fine. I'm recording. I'm recording it. Okay. You have been appointed by Will as.
So these guys are just being assholes to me, right? This guy was basically just dick the whole time. He was acting like he didn't know things. Stop causing a disturbance. Because I went there. I went there, and we were told we have a deal to exchange my daughter, and now they're saying, "Oh, you don't get your daughter." And so this is what they expect. So anyways, here's the over the shoulder shot in just a second.
My name is on that paperwork, isn't it? Will you guys please call the police department and tell them how absurd this is? Call the police department right now. They're shutting me out of the police department.
You're going to get arrested. There's the threat.
I'll leave.
And see, verbalizing the threat. That's an example of verbalizing the threat. And then instantly I go to over the shoulder move because it's a tense situation, right?
You're going to do something violent to me.
Right? And now the body English that you send off when you do the over the shoulder shot, right? The over the shoulder, it's like a non-threatening, like, you can tell just by body English, right when you're facing somebody, you kind of feel like, you're opposition, right? It's like, okay, you're against me. Now all of a sudden over the shoulder, a little more friendly, the body English is helping out, and it's helping you kind of de-escalate things, right? Are you gonna put hands on me? Okay. Are you gonna put hands on me? And again, just trying to verbalize violence, right? Like, hey, what are you guys planning on doing to me? You have to tell me what you're doing before you're gonna do it. You seem to not be able to answer questions, but I haven't committed a crime. Are you gonna put hands? Are you gonna put hands on me? Are you gonna put hands on me? Did you hear me? I asked you a question. I'm trespassing. What crime have I committed? I just told you. See, and you got to be able to recognize bluffs too. I'm not trying to like, give myself props or anything, but I learned all this stuff by watching other videos, guys. So I'm just trying to apply it, right? And recognizing bluffs is, like, hey, I'm going to trespass you. It's like, oh, really? What are you going to trespass me for? What crime did I commit, right? Like knowing a few of those basic laws. And are you going to put hands on me if I don't leave? See, I thought he was going to trespass me if I didn't leave. And then I stay for a little bit just to prove the point. He's not going to put hands on me. If he's not going to do anything, I'm going to stay. But that's the over the shoulder shot. That's just an example of me using it. I was a master at using the over the shoulder shot back when he used to be more active in being out in the field cow watching. But that's an example of that. And let's see if we can go back here. And what other examples were we going to use? Let's see, verbalizing the violence. Yeah, verbalizing the violence. You guys want to see yesterday's cow watch that I did? I'll show you another example yesterday of verbalizing the violence. Well, here's the distance thing. Let's go with distance, right? And I'm just using my examples because I know where they're at in the videos. So please don't take offense to the fact that I'm not trying to play my videos over and over and over. So this is going to be, right? Like this is me at the courthouse. So again, I have a fetish with recording at courthouses. Okay. So get this queued up. All right. So I've been waiting for somebody at the lobby here because they ordered me out of the courthouse when I had paperwork to drop off. And every time I've been to this courthouse, they just grabbed the paperwork. They took it down to the department for me because the building was closed, quote unquote closed, right? So that's what I was expecting them to do. When they didn't do it, I said, hey, I'll waive my Fourth Amendment right and subject myself to a search. And the guy starts ordering me out of the building. And then I've been waiting this whole time. So this is like the 8-minute stand. So for 8 minutes, I've been waiting for somebody to help me grab my paperwork and just take it down for me, or at least calm down so I can enter the building to submit my paperwork. This is going to be the example of distance that we're going to use. Just how backwards it is. So this is what I see coming out, right? It doesn't take two guys to run paperwork down for you. And I can kind of tell they're already looking at me, right? It's like, okay. And then this guy comes up with an instance here. Can I help you, sir? Sorry. Yeah. Do you need some help? Well, yeah, I asked the first guy if he could run some paperwork down for me, and he said no. And then he started ordering me out of the building. So now what are you doing here asking me if I need help bringing one of your cronies with you? I prefer if everybody stays 6 feet away from me. And that's maintaining the distance, right? I prefer if everybody stays 6 feet. The video said 10 to 15 feet. I'd say, 6 is probably pretty safe, but, you're better off obviously at 10 or 15. But just to pick up audio, you have to be closer to 6 to 10. Okay. So watch. See, and then they come out the body English instantly tells me, hey, they're taking aggressive posture. They're kind of surrounding me, right? Sir, you're getting too close. I'll back up. We can hear each other just fine from here. And that's what he was talking about with the backup. Now, that I see might be a problem for a lot of guys out there that like to stand their ground or quote unquote stand their ground. Listen, guys, I was a Marine. There's nothing wrong with retreating back to a safe position. When you're under threat or when you come under gunfire, the first thing you're supposed to do is take cover. So you're supposed to get to a safe area, right? So there's nothing, it doesn't make you look like you're, cowardly if that's what the concern is. It's like, no, yes, you stand your ground, but, it's also, it's maybe the smarter thing to do to retreat temporarily and then stand your ground. So that was the example of, keeping distance. And then let's see a couple of the other examples, trying to think of the top 10 off the top of my head or try to keep that list in the back of my mind. But it looks like we only got 6 people in here. Hopefully you guys are getting something valuable out of this. If you watch Cop Watchers and you've watched this and you maybe have picked up something that you didn't know, or you could kind of help a Cop Watcher, or maybe give them feedback in their chat, like, hey, step back just a little bit. Ain't nothing wrong with giving a little bit distance, or whatever the case. Whether you do Cop Watching or not, you might be able to help them by just giving them some suggestions. But then again, people might take offense to that too. So you never know. But anyways, so let's try to find some other examples. Verbalizing the threat, right? That was one of the bigger ones I see that people could get better at. Or at least that's what I think people could get much better at, right? And again, I'm not trying to show this to you like I'm this badass. I know, I'm the premier expert on any of this stuff. Like you saw, that wasn't my video, so it's not like these are my tips to you anyways. I'm just telling you, how I implemented them and how I think they saved me sometimes from a potentially dangerous situation. So let's see. I was going to try to find the Cop Watch from yesterday because here's the Cop Watch from yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it, but let's just play this real quick. This will, again, verbalizing the threat. Cop Block Hot Springs, I appreciate it for this video plays. I'll go ahead and just appreciate you guys being in here. Cop Block Hot Springs, AFE, appreciate you. Let's see, C Pig D Cook. Looks like that's just a porn spam, but who knows? Lauren White, I don't know what that is either, but Lauren, if you're real, hello. George Ward, appreciate you being in here. Hopefully you're still in here. I know I kind of got distracted from the chat, but Redneck Girl, if you're still in here, thanks for watching, AFE. And let's see, I think that's pretty much all caught up on chat. Leslie Sylvan, I missed you earlier, so hopefully you get to come back and listen to this. It looks like you dipped out. Let's see, but if you're still in here, appreciate you joining the show. Keebler, if you're still in here, appreciate you. ATL, if you're still here, let's see. I think I'm all caught up on the chat, guys. Proper persona. Yeah, I appreciate you being in here as well. And let's see. Oh, Gorge Patrol, thank you for watching. Teresa, Cheese Bear, and then of course I named everybody else before that. I know it, so I know I'm all caught up on chat now, guys. All right, so let's play this video, and we're just going to see a couple of examples of what I think is an underestimated, or not underestimated, but a underutilized tip for cop watching is the verbalizing the threat, right? Verbalizing threat. And this is my cop watch from yesterday, and it's kind of boring, and then okay here, and then seeing again, trying to come off friendly, right? Trying to come off friendly. I use this call for service, trying to get information about what things are all about, and then watch.
Was it just a call for service? Traffic stop? Oh, okay. Vehicle drivable? What's that? Is the vehicle drivable? That's none of your concern. Okay. Can you step over there for me, please? This is my seat.
So again, see like the whole distance thing, right? 10 to 15 feet. This guy was being friendly to me at first, so I didn't really perceive him as a threat. Well, you'll see.
I got you. Is it a crime scene? What's that? Is it a crime scene? I thought you were done. Were you? No, I'm not done. All right. So just step over there. All right. Hey, what's your name? Officer Boaz. And your
So again, getting the officer name, right? I could have got his first name, so I did miss that. I did make a small mistake.
11? Okay. You just step over there for me. All right. I'll stay there. I'll get a couple more feet. All right. Well, if you're not going to give me any information, work with me. I'm at a perfectly safe distance.
So again, the whole distance thing is just about safety anyways, right? So it's like, this guy's like, hey, back up all the way over there. At this point, the guy's just trying to, give me unlawful directives. So, at this point, it's, stand your ground. Like I said, nothing wrong with retreating.
Requesting, right? Okay. It's not a lawful order, bro. So you're going to threaten me? Did you just verbally threaten me right now?
See, verbalize the threat, right? Did you just verbally threaten me right now, right? Notice he doesn't answer the question.
Here, I'll step over here since you verbally threatened me.
See, and then maintaining distance. So it's like, okay, now you're starting to, threaten me. Okay, fine. I'll stand over here, and you just verbalize the threat. So thank you.
10 feet is the appropriate distance, by the way. Go. Why are you getting all like crazy?
See, so you got to call out the bullying move. As soon as, like, you can't tell me that just wasn't, him trying to be intimidating, right? Like, he just.
Appropriate distance, by the way. Go.
Like, this is how, you treat your wife when she's not listening to you and you want to go home and beat the shit out of your wife, right? Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not your battered spouse, buddy.
Why are you getting all like crazy? You're doing good.
I'm not. Like, do people actually believe themselves when they say those sort of things?
First, man, you're doing good at first. Okay, well then focus on your head. I thought you were done, man. I thought you were done. All right. Well, you guys get his name and badge number. Feel free to request your government if you're unhappy with what.
So anyway, I just wanted to use that as a quick example to the cop watch safety training, verbalizing the threat, maintaining the distance, and of course, I'm horrible at remaining silent. So you can never expect me to. I'm always going to fail at number 10, remaining silent. So, but anyways, being able to spot bluffs is a very important one as well. And so I don't know how much we'll get into it today. I don't know if this topic's been interesting to you guys, but we'll keep the chat going if you guys are enjoying this. But let's see, we are watching. Oh, hey, here, I can get the chat right here. That's awesome. Oh, no, this is my live chat replay from yesterday. You guys, I'm so horrible at this technology thing. Oh, God, that's embarrassing. Oh, my goodness. All right, so maybe we'll see if we can queue up a few other examples. Let's just go ahead and go back to the cop watch training video. I think I covered the ones that I think needed more emphasis, really. But I could be wrong. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think in the comments. Has this been helpful for you? Have you gotten anything out of this? That video was made in 2018. Things have changed and kind of evolved a little bit since then. Does that list need to be updated? Or are there things on the list that didn't make sense? I mean, there's a million questions you could ask just about the list alone. Like, do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Would you add anything? Would you say it's different now because it's 4 or 5 years old now, or 4 years old? So we'll just go back here and we'll just review the list real quick, and I'll see if there's any other examples I think are important to tell you or not they thought it was valuable, or whether it wasn't valuable first, and then if they thought it was valuable, heck, do you want to talk about them in more detail, or do you want to maybe create another video and expand on this and kind of enhance this a little bit to show some current examples of what all these are. So calling out bullying moves is what we showed. Asking for a supervisor, I don't often ask for a supervisor. I could probably do better at that one. Courthouse interviews. I did a few of those out in Novi. I don't think I need to show you guys examples of those, but MCC, when he was out in Novi with me, we did do that. When people were outside courthouse, I started asking them, do you think you should have to pay money to this place for what you did? Did you hurt anybody, right? So I did try that, and if you want to go back, I don't know if that is going to generate much interest to hear how those interviews went, but I think some of them are actually effective. So I don't know. We saw examples of the over-the-shoulder shot. The distance thing is, like I said, it's tricky because you have to be able to get the audio as well. So that one isn't as clear cut. I like 6 to 10 feet. That's the only addition I would make to that one, but that's just my personal preference. And again, reading the situation is key for that as well. Speak to the viewer through the lens. Okay, we didn't cover speak to the viewer through the lens, and I haven't shared any examples of this, but I've done this a few times. I need to get better at doing this. But then again, I don't really have that big of a following yet, or I don't have a lot of people tuning into my live streams yet. Plus, I rarely go live with cop watches. It's not like I'm one of the guys that does it on a nightly basis. But if I did go live more often, did more cop watches, and had more people in there, I'd probably be better at speaking to the viewer through the lens. But I admit that I could probably get better at that because it is effective, and I'll show you a couple of reasons for that. And then I think we beat this horse to death again, giving the reasons for filming. If anybody's watched my videos, I always say, hey, I'm going to exercise my right, or hey, I'm a threat to you. I'm just here to document what's going on because it's the only way I have to document and have a record. So those are the reasons that I give. I did tell the lady out of the fire department in Clarkson that because she was acting very weird about MCC staying silent. She was really interested and curious. So she asked me what we were doing. I told her I'd take the footage home later at night and I pleasure myself to it. So, but she kind of chuckled, you know what I mean? Thankfully she didn't take it as creepy. that could backfire pretty easily. But first name shades off. Yeah, this one, I don't know. I haven't encountered that one too much, but yeah, if you see guys wearing sunglasses, take them off. Get on a first name basis with them. Just to recap on that one. Stripper programming, right? Like for guys that like going to the strip club, and then you get Cinnamon dancing for you. It's like, hey, you gotta break them with that stripper programming, otherwise you're just gonna be another one of their idiots that they take money from, right? So it's like same thing, right? It's like, okay, well, break them with the programming, right? Like, oh, your name is Officer. Hey, what wonderful foresight your mom had to name you officer, right? Or try to get the first name right. Where this really can be dangerous is important. And nobody, again, I wish I had the recording for nobody to share with you guys. I called that judge by his first name. He acted like I just had thrown, a bucket of acid on his face or something. The way he reacted to it, I wish I could share that recording. And if we can get that recording, guys, the only thing holding me back is just paying for the footage. Or I'm sure they won't even have any footage of it. If they did, they probably deleted it already because it's that bad for that judge. It makes him look horrible. And that's the real reason they let me out of jail before 10 days. Well, he ordered 10 days, brought it down 7, brought it down 2, had me out within 24 hours because he made a lot of mistakes. And if I had the recording, I could prove it. But I don't have the recording, so hopefully a recording exists. Hopefully one day we can get our hands on it because I guarantee you guys it would be something you'd want to see. But anyways, calling somebody by their first name is usually a good tactic, and except for when it's a judge that acts like he just threw scalding hot water acid on his face. He really didn't like it. So anyways, the one that we're going to go back to here for is look up coded laws. Let's touch on looking up the coded laws and then look at speak to the viewer through the lens. Let's look at those 2 examples and then we'll be done with this list. And like I said, please leave me a comment. Also, if you haven't liked this live stream, if you're in here, please give me a like real quick so it'll help the algorithm. And then if you're watching this later or you feel like dropping a comment, let me know what you think of this list. Did you like the list? Did you agree with the list? Are there things that you've noticed that you maybe could get better at, or maybe there's something that you disagree with that you don't care to get better at? Who knows? So leave a comment, especially if you're a cop watcher, please, if you're watching this. Okay, let's go back to some examples. We're talking. So we're gonna go with the coding laws and kind of, and we'll be moving on to something else. Hopefully you get a guess. If not, I have a couple other interesting things I think to talk about here. So bear with me. Let's start with the not coded laws, but the speaking to the viewer through the lens and how effective it is. Because it kind of de-escalates the situation right away. It works surprisingly well, and so I'm glad whoever.
So the cutting out audio is because he's trying to learn things
recognize how effective
on
that
the
is,
same
or that's
computer that he's
whoever recognized that
streaming
and
from.
said it. That's tremendous.
I'm sure you've seen a bit of cutting out from me.
Here's the example we're going to use of speaking to the
But
viewer through the lens.
I'm
Again, I
not
was Facebook Live and I was making these videos.
loading anything, so it should be working just
Speaking to my viewers, I don't have any viewers at this point. I didn't really have
But he did just
at
remind
this
me
point, I'm just a dad that's going to get his kids, right?
thumbs up it, so I had to do that real quick.
Oh my guys, I'm going to cover up the microphone because I don't want information. And I was horrible at recording him. And you can hear it perfectly fine. I'm such an idiot sometimes. Oh god, sorry, I laughed at myself. I have a pending that's why I called so late to begin with. And it's amazing. I had a pending matter at this courthouse, and I have a pending matter at this courthouse, and a week later CPS gets called to me. So I initiate termination of guardianship with my sister, and then all of a sudden a week later CPS shows up at my house, and that doesn't look suspicious. It doesn't look like they're trying to get my sister's trying to get away with something, does it? I have a hearing to terminate guardianship, and then what that did is it triggered an investigation with CPS because my sister did not want me taking my daughter back. She has her family members call CPS on me. Now I can't be around my kids. And this is why I love having cameras, because I can go back to this stuff. Because when people tell me I perceive reality differently when they're trying to gaslight me, it's like, no, I perceive reality perfectly well. I don't want to do it. I don't want to embarrass anybody. I just want to prevent myself from getting gaslighted. Just for the audience, just for everybody else, I have a God-given right to my children. And speaking to the viewer through the lens, let's just go.
Hi.
I don't even think that was the right word. This is just where they're telling me I can't bring a camera into the public. Okay, I wasn't even right. Sorry, guys. They already lied 5 times. Let's split it up here. Okay, so these guys tell me I can't go in the lobby and I have to wear a mask. So this is me speaking to the viewer through the lens. This was the example I pulled this up for.
How do you guys think today? Okay, what are your orders? We got 9 people watching now. So just my mother-in-law is interested now. Should we go in the lobby, guys?
So that's me talking to the audience, and you can see and watch that it's like,
give me a wave if you want to go in the lobby.
Like completely just paralyzes.
I don't want to do violent things to me, but I don't like having violent things done to me. All you have to do is tell me that you'll do it, and I'll leave.
And again, verbalizing the violence, I may beat that.
Let's go inside.
I might actually do that too much. And then, of course, this is just civil disobedience, right? It's like, you're not going to tell me what I can and can't do. I know I have the right to be in this public lobby, and I know I have the right to live stream.
You might as well sit Indian style until somebody tells me.
Okay, so you have to get people's consent in a courthouse according to the law in Michigan. I don't want to get too sidetracked on this. We could do that as a topic for a different day. But what's the difference between me standing on the opposite side of that glass where I was and standing right here? I can still record everybody coming in and out of the court. So you're not protecting anybody's identity by having that as a rule.
If I'm getting my damn kids back.
So I know me being in this lobby right now, live streaming, I am doing nothing wrong. That's what I know, regardless what that law says. I know I'm not wrong. Plus, everybody's wearing masks anyways. It's a requirement to put a mask on to come in this freaking building. That's what they told me. So how can they make the claim that they're trying to protect people's identity when everybody's supposed to be wearing a mask? Well, which one is it? Because if you're wearing a mask, you don't have to worry about your identity. So, sorry.
The second they want to put hands on me, I'll leave.
And that's again verbalizing the violence. And then I do
will leave
another over the shoulder
this-
move right
This is the people's courthouse. This is your courthouse. This is my courthouse.
And then we'll be done with this example.
Hi,
We'll go-
William. It's nice of you to be watching. Do I have to leave?
So I'm just over the shoulder right now because these guys are coming in. I just did something they told me I couldn't do. So who knows if they're going to be upset about that, want to go hands on. I don't know.
Leave? Okay. Well, even if I went past the gate, what would you guys do? Then you'd put hands on me? Can't go past the gates without an appointment?
See, so the building is closed. And then when I got the disorderly, just shortly after this, when I made a return trip here, they were like, hey, go through the metal detector. I was like, what? The building's open now? Like, so you should have the right to press. You should have the right to cover and kind of bring back to other people and disseminate the information on what's going on at the courthouse, especially in the unique times of COVID, right? So it's like, I said the C word. Hopefully I don't get shadow banned, but you know, nobody knows how the courts are operating, right? So it's like, I should have the right to come here and like, I said the C word. Hopefully I don't get shadow banned, but
Can't go past the gates without an appointment?
see, so the building is closed. And then when I got the disorderly, just shortly after this, when I made a return trip here, they were like, hey, go through the metal detector. I was like, what? The building's open now? Like, so you should have the right to press. You should have the right to cover and kind of bring back to other people and disseminate the information on what's going on at the courthouse, especially in the unique times of COVID, right? So it's like, I said the C word. Hopefully I don't get shadow banned, but you know, nobody knows how the courts are operating, right? So it's like, I should have the right to come here and nobody should be able to take that right away from me, the right to press, because I'm here to document what's going on. Number one, with my own matter, but number two, hopefully, you know, I can help tell other people how the courts are operating. Maybe it'll help shed some light on this whole confusing situation, right?
Well, you just told me that I can't come in here and do what I'm doing right now.
And then we'll get away from this just a sec. But that's the over the shoulder shot. And enough about that. And then we'll use one other example, which is quoting laws, right? And quoting laws, if you're going to go out in the field and you don't know a few basics about the First Amendment, I would highly recommend that you learn the laws from the top down, not necessarily the ordinances from a city, although that is helpful as well. I don't find value in that simply because I don't pay attention. I don't care on a local level if you can't wear a red shirt on a Tuesday. I don't care what your stupid law says. I'm not going to listen to it anyways. Because as soon as you get me into a court of law, I'm going to tell them I know I didn't do anything wrong, and then I'm going to fucking get the case dismissed anyways. So that's why I don't pay attention to local laws very much. But anyways. So let's give an example of being able to quote laws. Okay. And I'm sorry for using my own videos as examples, guys. I'm really not trying. I did learn how to do thumbnails though. So this is the video that we're going to use to know how to quote some laws, right? And there's a few big ones. If you're listening, use of seal, use stuff, you know, there. Okay. So yada yada yada. This is my Detroit video. If you've seen it, cool. If not, you might want to go back and watch it. I was out with MCC. I just watched. Ask this guy what's going on. See if I can get him to use discretion. Let this guy go. And that's me quoting his still, right? Because this guy, I asked him what was going on with the stop. Then he turns. Then he's the one that escalates it. Okay, so we'll start here, and then this will show you why it's important to be able to know if you the law. See, and that attitude, usually I'm pretty good at de-escalating. People rarely see me get fired up. I got fired up here just simply because of the way this guy was talking to me. Not saying that's right, I'm just saying that's the reason why. You're disturbing me right now. Did you hear that? You're disturbing me. And then look at the look on that dude's face, right? Like, I'm disturbing you? What's your name? See, get the name. You're Randolph 1235? Is that right? Go somewhere. Go? Before what? What did I do that was illegal? What did I do that was illegal? Bro? And this is, of course, where they're going to come back with you're interfering with my investigation, right? Well, first off, you know, I just came up and said, hey, you, because I saw you just sitting there doing nothing. And then you could have told me, hey, I'm busy. And I'd been like, all right, cool. You know, I'll talk to you in just a minute then, I guess. Right? Or, hey, no comment and then drive away, right? But this guy engaged with me and said, hey, do you want to know what happened? So that's the only reason I engaged with him in the first place, right? Randolph? Fucking asshole. Piece of shit. For what crime? For what crime? What crime are you going to put me in jail for, Randolph? See, it's probably not the safest thing that we're talking about, cop watch safety training. This isn't the safe thing to do, right? I'm totally, you know, kind of helping escalate the situation. I see that. But, you know, I just don't like being told that, you know, keep standing there and we'll put you in cuffs or we'll take you to jail. Like, you threatened to kidnap me and you're not wearing a uniform. You better be able to do it over my dead body. They're going to fight you and it's going to be a fight to the death before I let you kidnap me and you're not wearing a uniform. So. What crime are you going to put me in jail for? What law did I break? What law did I break? Again, asking to go live because, you know, you can always, I was static recording at this time. I was with MCC, and so I was static recording. So, of course, as soon as this happened, I'm like, hey, man, can you go live? Appreciate it. Don't take that phone out of my hands, knock it out of my hands, stomp it in the ground, put me in the hospital, and then, you know, anyways. So. We started this video to talk about Houston Versil. There you go. And basically what Houston Versil says is interference has to be physical and it can be verbal, right? And that should make perfect sense if anybody watched James Freeman's breakdown and he made a phone call and then he asked the cops like, oh, so, because it was a similar situation, right? So then he asked him, oh, what about a squirrel in a tree? If they distract the officer, can you arrest and detain the squirrel? That was just so like comedy gold right there, Freeman, dude. Like you're a master at that sort of stuff. And that was absolutely hilarious. It's like, yeah, exactly. So every little distraction is going to be blamed on whoever's responsible for the distraction. Like, come on, you know. So that's why you have to know a few of these laws. Distracting the officer can't be used as, you know, the reason to lock in a cage or charge you with a crime. We all know it's to get the camera out of there anyways, right? So, but anyways, but that's what they're going to try to use. So you got to be able to counter. Houston Versil is a good one. Rainsburg versus Hayes, that's right press, and then Houston Versil, did I say that one already? And then the other one is Glick versus Kniff. Glick versus Kniff, I believe, is where they established the 10-foot thing, and I don't believe that's like in writing anyways. I believe it was just like an opinion, so it's not like, so that's again an arbitrary decision anyways, right? Like what if you're 9 feet 11 inches, you have to get your 10-foot pole out just to make sure and take an accurate measurement, like they do it to measure first down in football, you know, like come on. So, but anyways, knowing a few basic laws, and let's just be done with talking about my own videos. Sorry, I had to get all narcissistic and play my videos, but again, I could just quickly navigate to where the examples were. So tell me what you guys think, especially if you do tell me what you think. Were those, did you get anything valuable out of it? Would you? They're messing with your audio. Just noticing the chat, guys. See, when I'm playing the videos, I got to go to a different screen. I can't chat. If any Black Hot Springs, appreciate you being in here. AFE, appreciate you being here. Let's see. Upstate SC News, appreciate you being here. And then I think I'm all caught up in chat. I see Razor City Observer. I don't know if I shouted you out yet, but hopefully, you know, you are still in here. Hello, thank you for joining us. And you guys tell me what you think. Do you think this is a valuable list? Number one. Number two, do you think a lot of cop watchers that you see right now, do you see them making any mistakes? Do you see them executing some of those tips well? Tell me what you guys think. You know, give me a comment and let me know. Number one, did you find it valuable? Number two, see other certain mistakes that they've made. I mean, I pointed out a few of the mistakes that I recognized right away, but that's of course watch and yes, those were the points that I had agreed to, and yes, I recognize that I made mistakes and I could have been better at it. So, but you guys can let me know what you think. AFE, appreciate the peace symbol. I don't know if that's peace out or just an acknowledgement saying hello, but either way, appreciate you being here. Let's see, and let's stop sharing this for right now. All right, guys, we're at about 6:30. I think we went over cop watch safety training again. Just to let you guys know, if you can like the video, I'd appreciate that. And then if you could also give me a comment and let me know what you think. And I'm talking about a comment, helpful comment if you can, about what you thought was important, or maybe some of the things that you thought were not important, or that you liked, or what you like best, or what you like. Okay, so the types of feedback I appreciate. If you can leave me a comment, whether you're watching this now or watching this later on the replay. And again, just a quick reminder, I will try to put an index to the shows in there. So if there's certain portions that you like and you want to skip certain portions, you don't have to sit there and scroll through the whole live stream, thumbing through it, trying to find the part that you like. Okay, so I'll try to remember to do an index for every show, and that way you can navigate it easier if you want to come back to certain parts you wanted to, like, let's say you talk to somebody that fellow cop watcher, or you're into cop watching yourself, and you want to bring this video up and say, look, I noticed that, you know, I'm glad I had this reminder because, you know, I don't think we've been doing this one as well. And what are your thoughts on it, right? So you can navigate through it easily with the index, so you can kind of discuss things. And hopefully that's what this does. Hopefully this sparks the discussion, because that's what it's meant for, is just to open up the dialogue and get people talking, sharing ideas. And even if those ideas you think somebody's full of shit, or you think it's a stupid idea, that's fine. But you know, I'm definitely looking to have the discussions because, you know, hell, maybe I'll get people that reach out and want to collaborate and do an updated training video on that, and maybe they can just cut certain clips of their videos out and then email them to me. That would be a great resource to have too. If you're a cop watcher, you have videos and you have specific examples like I just went through, and you can clip them and then send them to me. You know, I'll make a video if people can help me out in that way. I'll do my part to make a video, you know, or far back to me. I'm a shitty editor. I'll just be honest with editor guys. So good stream. See you later, BSBT. Okay, I appreciate you being here if you're still here to hear that message. But let's see. What do you think about the advice to shine flashlights back officers to shine their lights? That's a good question, Cowblock. That's you know, I guess the whole safety aspect of it, right? It's kind of like, you know, I'm gonna have to think about that one, Cowblock, because off the top of my head, I love it from the standpoint of, you know, showing, kind of giving back what you're getting, right? So I love that aspect of me, because that part of my personality just loves that, because, you know, I want to show somebody what they're doing to me so that they knock it off, right? Not because I want bad things for them, but I want them to know what they're doing, right? So I like it for that aspect. From a safety standpoint, I don't know how to feel about it. I could see it going wrong. I could see it going sideways very easily. So I don't know how I feel, you know, but that's a great question, man. I appreciate that question. See, quoting laws equals inviting argument of opinions. Yeah, you know what, Cowblock, if we're running out of time for the show because I'm going to keep them to 2 hours. But man, if you want to come back and come up on a panel, I don't know if you'd be comfortable with that, but feel free to reach out to me by email if you want. I'll email you a link to a panel, and maybe we can have these sort of discussions. And I'm sorry, I missed the comments all the time. I wish I had those comments earlier and we could have discussed them. But I think they need to be discussed more in depth, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm not going to have enough time to do it today because I want to keep these streams to about 2 hours. But I'm putting my email in the chat, and it's also in my about section. So if you miss it in the chat, anybody that needs to comment section can get my email. But the email's in there. If you can email me privately if you're interested in coming up and being a guest, and then that way I can get a link to a future show. We're not going to do it today again. But if you're recording, got a oh. Gotcha. I'm just reading through your comments here, Cowblock. It may appear that I am recording. Got warrant. Yeah, I don't know if when you made that comment, so I don't know exactly. Pardon me, de-escalation technique, if you want, an escalation technique. Yeah, I think I know the meaning to that comment is you probably made a mistake up here further in the chat. See, this is what happens when you're behind the chat and you go to try to recover like this. But now I'm just going through and reading all your comments here, Cowblock, because I appreciate all the comments and the good questions here. Always keep their violence as the subject of the conversation. You know, if you're still listening, Cowblock, or anybody that listens to this in the future, I'd love to have that and do this on another show, because I really think this is an underutilized subject matter, if you will, for lack of a better way of putting it. I think these discussions need to happen more. I think we need to be more concerned for safety out there. As far as, you know, I'm talking from the perspective of I identify as a cop watcher, and I'm talking dare point a camera at government officials, right? So I think these discussions are probably some of the most meaningful and some of the most valuable ones that we can have. So hopefully we were entertaining enough to keep you engaged. But yeah, Cowblock, you had a bunch of interesting questions, man. I'm sorry, I'm just getting to them now. But you had so many interesting questions in there, I can't really address them all in this short time. So hopefully we can have you back, and hopefully, you know, we can bring up these questions again. But you know, the one important questions I guess was let's see, where was it? There was one that jumped out at me as just needed to be answered right now. Let's see, maybe here, learning de-escalation techniques. What's your style? Was typing chat a couple minutes ago, or are you listening to bribe offset? Pardon me. Audio is breaking, learning a ton. Let's see. Do you ask me a favor? Shoot, I can't find the question that jumped out at me. But man, it was a really good question. So let's see. Oh, quoting laws, inviting argument of opinion. So I do for to take up a little more time on the live stream. If we go over 2 hours, that's fine. Because that's a very, very good point that you made. Quoting laws equals inviting argument. Let's just put that one up on the screen right now. Quoting laws equals inviting argument of opinion. You lose. Oftentimes that's correct. I strongly agree with the statement in general, and that's why I would say instead of take this inviting argument of opinion by quoting laws, what I would say is it might be a better strategy to ask questions and stay away from quoting laws. Hold on. Hi, chat. Hello, chat. This is my fiance that wants to interrupt the show. I'm wrapping it up right now, babe. Okay, but I'll be done in just a second. Bye, chat. Anybody that's mistrust. I put her coffee mug, by the way, in a merch store. Speaking of, that might have been a good interruption right there, guys. Because store is I did put a mistrust coffee mug in there, so in case you want to have an image of a beautiful looking lady, if Brooks is I'm gonna get in trouble. Anyway, so back to the question, right? That's the important part. What quoting laws equals inviting argument of opinion. Yes. So okay, so I guess maybe I should explain a little better. If you're gonna quote the laws, like I was quoting laws in the videos, yes, you could be inviting argument, and that's exactly what happened in one of the videos because the guy says, "Oh, we'll sort it out at the jail or something like that," right? Or the other famous thing is, "Well, you'll have your day in court." Oh, great! So I get to go somewhere. I'm gonna be invaded and try to have somebody hammer me with some bullshit nonviolence, and then the psychology of the whole room is set up to instill such an incredible amount of fear. I'm gonna get paralyzed and not be able to do anything about it. Great. So anyway, so yeah. Okay, so you made a point there, and it also is helpful to be able to ask questions. And so maybe the better approach I could have done in that situation was ask some questions, right? Like, and I think I did. So I think I might have said, hey, what crime are you going to put me in jail for, right? Okay, so turn it back around and turn it into a question, right? What jail are you going to put me in, or what crime are you going to put me in jail for? What crime are you accusing me of, right? Let's see, what was the other one that I said in the video? I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was something else. Oh yeah, do you have a reasonable articulable suspicion, right? So asking the questions is always safer. I guess was the overall point to this was asking questions helps you avoid inviting an argument of opinion, right? Just asking a question. You're not asking for somebody's opinion, so you can ask the questions. What crime are you going to put me in jail for? Okay, that's a question. It's not like somebody can say, hey, you're wrong, right? Well, I asked a question. Away from making claims and learn how to make. I try to get better at that too. Okay, so you did good. I expect you to get better. Yeah, I mean that's hopefully what it's all about. Cop Block is just continuing to get better and better and better. I don't see the state of the world and the craziness in the world decreasing anytime soon. I think it's on the rise, and I think it's only going to get worse. That's just a theory, of course. I could be wrong, but so I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't see myself, being removed from the cop watching game. I think I'm going to forever. I think I've got to do it now, and it's kind of like so. Yeah, man. I hopefully will just continually keep getting better, and you guys can let me know what you think. I truly appreciate criticism. I really do. So if you can point out something that I may have done or didn't do, right? Like we just said, or I just said and admitted myself, right? Like, hey, yeah, I did quote the laws, but then I asked some questions. So yeah, I guess I could have done things a little bit better. I'm open to criticism, guys, and I'm open to hearing if you guys think, you watch that list and then you notice me doing something stupid, or I might be putting myself at risk. I'm sure mistrust would be because like, really bad things happen to you. It's like, yeah, that's a very valid concern. I can't say I don't blame you, right? That's a perfectly legitimate fear. Is that something bad will happen to you? Like, but why wouldn't you blame the person that killed me and not the person that got killed? Why would you blame the person that got killed, right? So again,
sorry, I wasn't trying to take credit for his words.
Your life, potentially. And I don't care what the reason people get into this, or whether you believe in cause, or whether you have to grow a YouTube channel, whatever. Whatever your purpose is for doing this, that's fine. I don't care what your selfish reason is for doing this, but do you really want to die for a cause? I mean, I'd be willing to die for free speech. That's why I do it. I'm just asking yourself, right? Like, ask yourself these deep questions of why you're doing it, right? So, because you work for money and then you end up getting killed for money, like, hey, that's probably not a smart move right there, right? So, and I don't care about what people say. I'm an activist and I don't really want money. Okay, fine for you, but I'd like to grow this channel into something. I'd like to be able to make some money doing something outside of government work, or not government, but a job that can be shut down by the government, which is why the reason I ended up on unemployment anyways, right? I ended up on unemployment, losing a job, and shut all the jobs down. I wasn't an essential worker, and I ended up on unemployment. So I was able to maybe build a brand to build up, so I can maybe provide for my family now without being dependent on government. So I don't see anything wrong with that. That's just my personal take. If anybody's in it for the activism, just to do it voluntarily, I think the majority of people actually start off doing it that way. And I know that's how I kind of started off getting into this, is just being interested from an activist standpoint. But I don't think there's anything wrong with monetizing or making money or setting up passive income strategies. And that was going to be a topic that I wanted to get into at a time. So a topic for a future show is going to be effective ways if you want to build a YouTube channel, and some tips that I've seen on making money on YouTube, because that's definitely what I plan on doing, and hopefully setting up passive income opportunities. And I always had a plan to do that. I just procrastinated and I didn't do it for the longest time. Now I'm finally doing it. So I set up a merch store. I did those things. I'm proud of myself. I'm patting myself kind of on the back for that because I've always wanted to do it. But we're going to talk about that on a future show. For the people that want to be honest, if naturally provide, or we can basically find a way to make some sort of money in this world, or who knows if cash is going to get devalued to the point of zero, but there's going to be a form of be prepared for stuff. So hopefully I can do that better this time around. I waited too long to set up passive income. I did it now, but hey, that's a topic for another show, guys. If you stuck it out this whole time, appreciate it. I guess in future shows we're gonna. Oh, I didn't even get to the phone calls that I had to make for you guys. So future shows, I'm gonna play some more phone calls for you. I made phone calls on behalf of other auditors. So I didn't even get to do that today. We pretty much focused the entire time on Cop Watcher safety training. Please share this video. Please encourage everybody to simply so we can share their thoughts. And again, one last time for the invite out there to any other Cop Watchers, if you have small clips that you can share with me, I think maybe it'd be a good idea to put together a current video and kind of update that 2018 video and adapt to some of the changes that I've seen out there, along with sharing some examples like we did in this video. So I appreciate you guys, but I have a few ideas for future shows. So hopefully we keep you entertained and hopefully you enjoyed tuning in. So on that note, say goodbye to chat and we'll pick this up tomorrow. All right. Take care, guys.
All right. Well, that's the end of that. It is now 10:30 p.m. The kids have been around as of 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. at times, but it seems like they've quieted down and left for the night. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the live stream. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the extra entertainment rather than the silent streams in the past. I'm going to edit this stream and rename it. I can't spell right. Let's see. Also, what was it? Cop watch safety. Video double share. All right. I decided. Oh yeah, you can hear me. So you'll see the description soon. I decided to increase the value of this video to include broken system, broken trust. Here's a link. Let me grab his channel link real quick. Let's see. Actually, I'll just grab the YouTube video channel I shared. Video. There you go. Please let me know if you have any suggestions. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream in just a moment here. Let's see. I want to refresh this and see if it's been updated to what I just changed it to. By the way, April is actually Mom for Service, and I changed the name because of that. So I'm going to unmute my phone. Audio may diminish. That way I can stop this camera and leave the stream on this computer. Speed up my computer because it's not loading. There we go. Oh, okay, so it did update it. So I'm going to go ahead and end here. Where am I going? Okay. There we go. Ah, drat. One thing I lost was that. Okay, well, I didn't lose it completely. Good. Okay. Now let's try it. Oh, it doesn't like that. Okay. I tried putting parentheses in 2 places and it didn't like it. Oh, well, now that's interesting. Why is it not liking it here? Okay, let's put the quote back in. Took out. Take out the space. Nope. Now that's strange. Oh, I know what's wrong. Copy that out of here, paste it in here, take out the extra characters, bring it back in here. Now, no. Whoa, this is nuts. Oh, that makes sense now. There we go. Okay. Still haven't ended the stream yet, have I? Okay. Anyway, it has reached 3 hours. I'm disconnecting it now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night.